It slowed me down a bit, but there's a little bit of me now coaching, working with high school students, and we want to go see WashU. Like, were you good? Hey, go into the athletic complex. There's a big mural, that big picture on top. I'm the one in it.
Yeah. See, I'm in my alma mater's Hall of Fame. So,
are you really?
Yeah. So whenever it comes up, like, hey man, they got a plaque with my name on it. Where's yours at?
Yeah.
So I'm blessed on that.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't have a plaque.
Well, it's not too
but
late.
I've got great memories.
Hey, write out a check. You might be able to find it. But I understand that.
You know what
do
it
that
is?
also.
Right. Make a donation.
Exactly.
We'll give you a
They'll
wing. We'll give you everything
the whole
you
9
need.
yards.
Name a sport after you, too, while you're
Speaking
at
of
it.
wings, I got to do a little personal business here.
Okay.
As you and I were talking, I had a little stay at the hospital, at St. Luke's Hospital the other day. Well, it was more than the other day. I have to thank the nurses there, the nurses and the techs. Michelle, Erica, April, Rebecca, JoJo, Sharon were just incredible. You've been on your back before, as was I.
Yeah.
And, man, you know what? Yeah, I don't know where the world would be without nurses.
Yeah, you know what? Underrated. Truly underrated for what they provide. And really, they go beyond what the doctors do because the doctors are there for a while and they leave.
They do a drive-by.
Nurses
the
there
nurses
all the time.
there the whole time.
Exactly.
And we really get along until it's time to draw blood. And then
I just cannot believe that story
Rene,
you told me about you and blood.
So here's one. This is a few years ago. My daughter was taking me to go get blood. Mm-hmm. And so I had a little Valium just to kind of relax me.
Okay.
Right? So I think I'm really good. I'm good. Yeah, they doing the blood. I get up out of the chair. The next thing I know, I look up and there's all these white jackets looking down at me, and my daughter with her hands on her hips saying, "Really? This is why I brought you here." Oh, my blood donations are legendary.
Yeah.
They're like now there's an urgent care where when I go through St. Luke's, I go there. Mm-hmm. When they see me come in, they're like, "Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, here he comes."
Hi.
Get the stretcher ready.
Did you take anything before you came? Not enough in some cases.
Well, we're going to talk more about this particular holiday season because I think for everybody in this room, the holiday season hit differently in 2025 than it has in previous years. We're also joined in the studio by Kelly Hughes, who is one of my favorite people on the planet. She was one of our producers at KSCK when I was still there doing the 6 a.m. show. And now she's one of the producers of The Rundown with Rene Knott. Rene Knott, by the way. I say that all the time, and I don't know why I do that. But Kelly, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm hearing a lot of good things about this Rundown show.
I'm good at spreading that.
I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about it.
Thank you. We're going to get you on.
You know, you just call me anytime.
Yeah, we're going to get you on. We have a whole list of people that will be coming up. It's a very, what's the best way to describe it? It's a great open conversation that goes anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know the exact timing on it.
There is no time.
But we just kind of talk.
There's no time limit.
Yeah,
and that's the great thing about this new vehicle we have, podcast, sit down, whatever you want to call it. There are no guardrails. You can talk about whatever for as long. And I've done a few of these. Some of them can go an hour. Some of them can go 20 minutes. It just depends on who it is and what you want to talk about. And I think it's one of the great things in our society because we can tell our own story now.
Yes.
Compared to letting somebody else give you the narrative. And I love it.
If you think about a news story, so let's say I'm going to do a feature story on Mike Claiborne. So I'm putting this story together, and it's time for me to cut it and get it ready to go on air. So we talked, let's say, 30 minutes. That 30-minute interview is going to be cut down to 2 minutes maximum, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on how interesting things get. But it's not going 3 minutes. It's not going 2.5 minutes. And so some of your story gets told, some of it gets shortened, some of it gets left out altogether. But now there are no holds barred. We're able to really express ourselves, get the full thought out. No one's cutting you off. But I do like the idea of the fact that you could control your story and I could control my ways of doing the stories. Because that whole editorial deal, and I'm not saying that we're going off the rails and not speaking the truth, but the idea that someone's coming in there and cutting it all down
in the kitchen,
is not there.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks. I mean, these guys over here, they're of what I would call the podcast era because I don't listen to any of them until we started doing one. And I'm thinking, seriously? People sit down and listen to two people just talking for a while? And then you start listening, and the stories that you learn
Yeah.
are phenomenal. I mean, what you listen to podcasts regularly, right?
Yeah, I think with podcasts, the beauty of it is, we were kind of talking about it earlier, with just kind of radio continuing to be a medium that's living with so many of the changes in media. It's that it's a passive activity. You can put it on while you're driving. You can put it on while you're doing work, while you're cleaning, and while you're going to bed, whatever it might be, and still be engaging with it, still be paying attention to it. And there's so many different avenues, whether you want to, like, hey, I'm following this sports podcast, or I want to listen to this true crime podcast, or it's more on the individual side of, I know this person that I want to be paying attention to, and I love hearing what they have to say. So you never know what is going to catch your eye and what is, or catch your ear in that sense. But I think it's been fascinating to see how it's spread and how the different niche areas have really found their own celebrities.
They've grown. And then I was surprised with how popular the Kelseys are, right? I'm thinking, well, how many people out there are into the Kelseys, because how many football fans are there? But a lot of their popularity popped up higher because of the fact that Taylor Swift ended up in the picture. And now people are listening to get some inside stories on her. Am I right?
It helped.
I think that's a significant portion of the women listening, for sure. But then they're two funny guys. They're engaging.
Yeah.
I think that's what holds people.
Okay.
At the end of the
I think
day.
Travis Kelce. No, the other one. Jason.
Jason.
I think he is a Monday Night Football kind of must-watch pregame.
He's
Because
developing.
He's, you know what? He kind of reminds me of how, and the other guys I could take a lead for the most part. But I think he's kind of like the Shaq of the NBA on not TNT, on ESPN.
ESPN, yeah.
He's that guy who can do a lot of things, and he knows the game. That's the other thing. And I've always felt like while quarterbacks get paid a lot of money to be analysts, I think you give me a good offensive lineman to break the
especially
game
a center.
down.
Center.
Yeah.
Especially a center.
Yeah. And they understand the game maybe
Yeah.
better than the quarterback does.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones going to call the line adjustments and things like that according to whatever the defense is. So they might be one of, if not the smartest players on the field at the
Yes.
time. Between that and the safety or one of the linebackers, that's calling the defense based on what the offense is doing. So I like watching him. I like listening to him because he's very regular, just genuine. That's every guy I knew when I played football in college. That's the way they were. Just kind of goofy, off the cuff, say whatever's going on.
But knew
at
how
the
to
same
handle
time,
their business, though.
they knew that.
Yeah.
They knew. And I think the other part of that, going back in time, and you guys, Callie plays tennis, by the way, just to let people know that she is, she's kind of athletic. I guess you could throw that in there too if you count tennis. No, just kidding about that. But the thing about sports that I always enjoyed was everybody sacrificed. We all knew who was the better athlete and who was the one that needed a little help. But when it came time to play, we all came together and gave it everything we had to make it work. And then when you listen to a guy like that, you respect everything he says, because if he's criticizing, he knows what's wrong. If he's praising, then you go, oh, yeah, that guy needs to have the attention that he's
And he sees the
getting.
little things that we take for granted. And those are the things that I've come to appreciate about
Yeah. Well, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there. You are listening to KMOX. 100 years now on the air. Congratulations and all of that. This is normally the Dave Glover Show, and it still is Dave's show, but this afternoon, Rene Knott is filling in, and it is my pleasure to have a group behind us because we are going to have an entertaining and fun time this afternoon, one day after Christmas. I started the show by talking about how this particular holiday season was different for each and every person in this room compared to others. This is probably the one time in the long time that the true meaning of Christmas and the holiday season came to mind. As people know that I'm going through transition right now professionally, and so because of that, my wife and I decided that this year we weren't going to do the presents and all that as we normally would do. Normally our front room would have wrapping paper and boxes and things like that all over the place. But this year we couldn't do that for the simple fact that, we got to make our money stretch because we're in between things. So when that next big paycheck comes in, I don't have the slightest idea as to when that is going to be, but hopefully it's soon. So
It's on your list of things.
it is
to
on
do.
my list of things to do. And so this holiday season became more about truly what our blessings are. And our blessings are the fact that I have a healthy son and daughter. I have a healthy wife. I've got 2 incredible basset hounds. One's not healthy right now. He sprained his paw yesterday, and he's milking it for all it's worth at this time. But you start to realize that it's not about the presents. It's not about the money you spend. It's not about... Now, I used to always go to Frontenac Mall on Christmas Eve and go and buy my wife's presents that night. And it was
Hang
funny
on.
because the first time I would go in there... Christmas Eve.
Every year.
But every year, and there's twice that I did that, and I'm walking down the, I guess, hallways or whatever you call it at the mall, and Jackie Joyner Kersey's walking right next to me, and I turn around and go, "Oh, you too, huh?" She goes, "Oh, yeah." So it was like this mad sprint.
If you're ever looking for Jackie, she's always out there.
She's always out there. But you realize that this year, that's not what really matters. And then when I say we would spend some money on Christmas, we would spend some money on Christmas. We would save all year so that we can get the kids the big things that they wanted. I'd get my wife the big thing that she did not necessarily want or expect.
Pots and pans. You didn't get it.
No pots and pans.
Go that route. Okay, all right.
No, the people at Tiffany's and the people at Louis Vuitton knew who I was, a couple of years there because
She
that's where
already
you would
picked it
go.
out. It's already here waiting for you.
But this year, we did not exchange presents. We did not exchange presents this year because I truly believe that the blessing was the fact that we were here and that we were together and we had support and we had love. And I had never really thought about that until this year.
See, I'm a little bit of a different bird on Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that runs out and gets gifts, and I don't expect any in return. I enjoy the fellowship and the camaraderie and everybody coming together.
Yeah.
I don't know, my dad used to always tell me, "Hey man, if you really want to buy a gift, don't look at a day on the calendar to buy it. You buy it because you want to." But I do give gifts like to my kids, today kids, all they want is money. All right, now don't pick anything out for me. You just give me the money. I'll go get it myself. And people who've done things for me, during the course of the year. But I'm like you, we kind of went through some things, and I just kind of sat back yesterday and just kind of like inhaled how blessed I am to be here.
Yeah.
And when you think about it along those fronts, and I always call my buds who I know maybe not doesn't have family here or doesn't have any, and I cook. I love to cook. So I had my boys over yesterday, and we just sat back, and and a buddy of mine came in from Chicago and didn't know he was coming and was so glad to see him. And that's how I celebrate holidays, just getting people together in the room.
But that's what it should be.
Yeah.
That really is what it should be. It should be about...
And being a bachelor, I don't have to... I don't have what person...
There's nobody expecting anything.
There you go.
But I will say this about that. It can be a lonely situation sometimes. And I only speak
I
that
got
way
a dog,
because...
man. I have a shepherd Malamute who gives me all the
You
love
want to have
I
two
need.
bassets hang out with you? Because I'll bring mine over there.
That's a little too much. That's a little too much.
But what I truly found, and I don't want to be sappy or seem like all of a sudden this guy's found religion, but I felt that even though I was going through some things and still going through some things, I still have it better off than 95% of the people I come in contact with every day.
Yeah.
And because of that, there is hope. Because of that, there's probably going to be opportunities and things that until you get to this point in your life, you just kind of take for granted. You don't even think about it anymore. I would go places and people were like knowing me from TV, and so people treated you differently. The other night, we go to dinner on Christmas Eve.
Where'd you go to dinner?
It's backed up. We go to Outback Steakhouse.
Really?
We have gone to Outback Steakhouse since what? You were like 5?
Before that,
I didn't know they had an Outback.
It's all the way out in O'Fallon, Missouri.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. They used to have one on Manchester. Now we go out there.
Okay.
But, we go in there, and it is packed. And we already had a reservation. It is packed. People are lining up. They're outside and everything else. Now, no one said, "Oh, that's Rene Knott. Make sure he's seated because, that's the guy on TV." People didn't pay attention. You're just one of the people standing in the lobby. It was time to eat. People walked by and kind of looked at me like, I've seen this guy somewhere before.
Yeah.
One guy actually did. A couple people just mentioned my name. But you start
Art
to
Holiday,
realize
that's who
just
you are,
wanna-
yeah.
I've gotten that. I get that or I get Randy. In fact, I got Randy from a real good media friend, and I think he just mistyped.
That's what we'll say. That makes us feel better.
It makes me feel better. I go, he just mistyped. But he also used to work with somebody named Randy, and I think because of that, and her name is Rene Knott, and so they kind of slide together. I've actually been called Randy Knott a couple of times, too.
I'm gonna
I've been
start
called
doing
Michael
Yeah,
Wilbon
don't do
a lot.
that. You've been Wilbon?
Michael Wilbon, yeah.
I know him.
Yeah.
I know
He's
him.
one of my favorites.
He's a great guy. Him and Tony are a couple of great people. Believe it or not, because you can watch it sometimes and think they don't like each other, but they
have a
really
great
do
bond.
enjoy each other. But going back to the whole Christmas thing is that Christmas Eve I felt kind of bad because I'm thinking I can't provide like normally would. But then today and yesterday I started to feel so much better because I realized that I've got everything I needed
You got your health, first of all.
from what I know.
Well, at least for the next
For the next 4 hours.
At least
it's gonna
through this
be healthy.
commercial break, at least.
But, like I was talking with Callie, Callie's going through something with her family, too. And so the season is different. And because the season is different, I think you take a stock within yourself.
Yep.
And take a stock at all the small things in life. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to cry or nothing like that.
No, I won't cry or nothing. We had a Christmas.
So this music is
thing.
telling us that we need to take a commercial break.
Oh, okay. Because I can't hear anything.
You can't?
All I hear
Okay.
is Rennie.
I was wondering why you're still going.
You so love yourself, don't you?
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. He can hear it just fine.
This is Rennie and I. We'll be right back here on the Dave Glover Show. Don't go away.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina. Your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
For nearly 4 decades, no one shaped KMOX more than Robert Hyland. When he took over as general manager, Hyland transformed KMOX into the nation's first major all-talk radio station with At Your Service.
I think it's been a vehicle, it's been a forum for people, and it's brought people closer. That's what we're trying to do, air the views so we can put them out on the table and then dissect them and talk about them among ourselves and also with the experts and so-called experts on At Your Service.
He built KMOX into the sports voice of St. Louis, securing partnerships with the Cardinals, Blues, Football Cardinals, and Mizzou, and turning the station into a national powerhouse. A tireless leader, Robert Hyland turned KMOX into what CBS founder William Paley called the jewel in the CBS crown. Robert Hyland, a KMOX pioneer.
This is Kyle Bush with Crinch Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker dealer.
Save big money in your next painting project with help from Menards. Get a paint that combines gorgeous color and durability. Dutch Boys Platinum Plus is a paint and primer with a protective finish that guards against scuffs, spills, and stains. Don't wait to finish your projects. Get a gallon on sale now through December 31st and refresh your home today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hi, this is Joe Buck. I used to work at KMOX. My dad used to work at KMOX. And I want to congratulate the radio station, the great KMOX, on 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back to KMOX. It is a Dave Glover show, but this afternoon we have Rene Knott sitting in, filling in for Dave, and it's been fun so far. But I just learned that I went too long in the last break because I couldn't hear the music, and I didn't realize I had to be quiet and go to break. So this time we're going to do a short segment. That way we get back on track. Does that sound all right, D? All right, he's the man over there. Mike Claiborne sitting in as well as my son Easton. And Callie, producer from The Rundown with Rene Knott, our podcast that we air once a week on YouTube, has been quite the, I wouldn't say experiment, quite the experience to do that. It started out for me as an experiment to see if it was something that could even catch on and be fiery as far as my attention goes. And it's been a great time.
It's been an excellent time.
It's been fun.
I think we've had a lot of fun doing it, and then every interview, I think both of us and everyone listening is learning stuff about these names of people they've heard of for a long time that they never expected to hear.
I think that's one of the things that I have enjoyed about doing the podcast was being able to talk to people long enough to get them to tell me something about them that maybe someone else doesn't know or something that hasn't been said very often. We just sat down with Brian Williams, who is going to run for the St. Louis County Executive, and to sit and talk with him. And he actually discloses about the fact that it took him a while to accept the situation with his dad. Pretty much up until the time he became a dad himself, and his son, I believe, is only like 2 years old.
2 years old.
Yeah.
And you think about that, and you think, gosh, wow, it took you that long to come to grips with it and to understand it. And I think it resonates with people that now they understand things a little bit better. He spoke very highly of his grandparents, 95-year-old granddad, who to this day is still a driving force in his life, and his mom being a driving force, and his grandmother being a driving force. And, you know, we talk sometimes about it takes a village. And you see this young man achieve what he has achieved in politics, and you realize he's had a village. He's had a support system that helped him get there. Because when you think about it, a young black man who went to Hazelwood Central probably isn't thinking about one day becoming a state senator, one day becoming the county executive, and who knows where he could go after that. But when people are there to support you and to keep that dream alive, you thus become that person. You know, and I think when I look at him and where he is, and he's got probably one of the greatest smiles of all time, he smiles because he's representing his family the way I think he's wanted to represent his family at that high level. So to you, I say thank you very much. This is not a campaign, Brian, but I just wanted to know that I really enjoy talking and learning something more about you that maybe others hadn't discovered as of yet, but will when they listen to The Rundown with Rene Knott. How about that?
Will.
Like that transition? It's called
Excellent.
a segue, kind of a segue. It is 1:30 in the afternoon.
You bobbing and weaving pretty well on
I'm
this.
bobbing and weaving
have a
because
future here.
I'm by myself over here for 5 minutes trying to dance through that real quick, and I overstepped my boundary again by 20 seconds. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on The Dave Glover Show.
For 100 years, KMOX has been the voice of St. Louis, informing, entertaining, and connecting our community. Now, relive a century of service at KMOX100.com, a website that allows you to explore classic KMOX audio, rare photos and video, and the legendary voices that shaped St. Louis. Every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat lives on at KMOX100.com.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
No one remembers the tie, the sweater, or the pair of socks they received last year for the holidays, but they will remember the year they learned how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year in January, Lacefield Music opens their exciting and innovative 8-week adult piano classes to the public for the incredible price of only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. This class is usually $100, but in January, the classes will be $29.99 for all 8 weeks. With Lacefield Music's adult piano classes, you will learn how to read music, play your favorite songs, and you will play with both your right and your left hand the very first week. This year, instead of buying your loved one more things, buy them an experience and fulfill the dream of learning to play the piano. Class sizes are limited and are filling fast, so call 636-778-2070 for more information or go to lacefieldmusic.com. That's lacefieldmusic.com to sign up.
In St. Louis, the weather can change in an instant. One day, you're under a thunderstorm warning. The next,
oh boy, it's snowing.
Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. When weather threatens, the KMOX Storm Center has expert forecasts and live reports here to keep you safe and informed. Don't get caught off guard. Know your weather. Sponsored by
Celica Heating and Cooling.
All right, everybody, listen up. If you haven't heard by now, and I'd be surprised if you hadn't, with Ranj and I talking about this on a regular basis. But the FanDuel Sportsbook app is live here in Missouri, and they have kicked things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. So right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets. Whether you win or lose that first bet. So you sign up for an account, you make your initial deposit, you make that bet of $5, and automatically you are credited with $300 in bonus bets. And look, I'm a big fan of FanDuel. I downloaded the Sportsbook app the moment it came online, and I couldn't play here in Missouri before, but now I can. And the app is safe, it's secure, it's super easy to use. All you got to do is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join the excitement, because with FanDuel, you play your game. 21 and older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
It's an NFL double play Saturday. It all kicks off with the Texans and Chargers at 3. Then the Ravens and Packers at 7. It's an NFL double play Saturday on America's Sports Voice. 104.1 FM KMOX.
I kind of like to let it play out a little bit, but I realize that this is going to be a while before we actually hear them say something. Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. This is Rene Knott sitting in on this December 26th, one day after Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope your holiday season has been going great. Something that isn't going great that we had an opportunity to kind of chat about during the break, the St. Louis Blues season. It is not what we come to hope for, because we hope that every year that our team is a team that can compete for the Stanley Cup. Not to say that that will not be the case when push comes to shove, but right now it seems far-fetched to think that that is indeed going to happen. I mentioned the fact to Mike that I like Coach Montgomery. I've never met the man. I just like watching him when he speaks to the media. I like watching him when he's on the bench. There's a fire, there's a temperament that he displays that makes you think, I could run through a wall for that guy. Am I right?
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's very well prepared. I think that the game has changed in how you coach players. the kick in the butt doesn't work as much as it used to because guys have guaranteed contracts and you can't talk to them certain ways. And that doesn't mean you have to be a tyrant, but there's sometimes you have to get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was a time, and you guys played sports, where if a coach wanted to get your attention, we do some running.
Oh, yeah.
We do some stairs.
Up, downs,
exactly.
stairs. Oh, yeah.
Now you don't do boards like you used to in hockey. You don't do lines because, it takes too much away from my legs, and, it's a punishment. So you have to find other ways, and sometimes you just don't play guys. But then at what point do you sacrifice one of your better players not playing because you need him because you don't have enough talent?
Well, you also have to have the backing of management.
Exactly.
Because management can go, well, that player, because he's got a guaranteed contract, is way more important to us than you are, Coach.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing, no trade. That's the problem today where a team or a player can say, all right, I have a no trade. These are the places I'm not going.
Right.
And so now those maybe a half a dozen teams you can't do business with. And then the other teams, because of the salary cap, may not be able to take that salary on. So there's a lot of things that go into it. I think coaching and managing today in sports is harder than it's ever been. You pick the sport, and I'll give you an example. But in Jim Montgomery's case, it wouldn't hurt to have some healthier players and maybe a few more guys who really want to play and play tough. That doesn't mean fight. That means play tough. This is a hard sport.
Well, toughness is how they won the cup.
Exactly. They leaned on people. They made you hard to play against, and we don't have that right now. And they're going through a similar situation transition-wise in upper management. Alexander Steen will take over next year, much like Chaim Bloom is taking over for the Cardinals. And you have to put your fingerprints on this thing as well. I like the direction of the Blues. I like the direction of the Cardinals. It's the first time we've seen either of these transitions take place in St. Louis sports, and it's taken some getting used to, not only by the players, but certainly the fans, the media, everyone else is trying to figure out what does this look like. But I'm not one that says, well, we'll be ready to go in 2 years. No, I want, as we were talking about earlier, at last check, there's 162 games on the Cardinals schedule that starts in 2026.
Right.
I'm not giving up any games to say we'll be better in 27 because we're not going to be good in 26. No.
If you want my ticket money now,
exactly.
I want you good now.
And I think that's the mindset of Chaim Bloom. We're going to play this season like, we're
out to win it.
Exactly.
We're out to win it.
And I think the Blues are in the same position. The injury bug has hurt the Blues. I don't like the makeup of the fact that we don't have enough physical players who make you want to play. You want the Blues to be a team where you say, "Damn, we got to play the Blues tonight."
Right.
They play us hard.
You don't feel that.
I don't.
You don't
feel it. No.
So
I don't.
what is the record still? I think it got up to 8 overtime losses. Am I correct?
Yeah, overtime has not been a friend.
Okay. So, but that's when push comes to shove. That's when you dig deep. That's
You
when
gotta
you
want it.
grind. That's when
You gotta want it.
Exactly. So I think that particular record says a few things about the roster. Says a few things about what's missing, what's lacking.
The word we use these days, Rennie, is culture. Culture in the room.
There you go.
And I like players on this team. Braden Shen can play for me any day of the week. I mean, he's a captain, and he sacrifices himself for some guys who aren't worthy, in my opinion, to sacrifice. Just plain and simple. They if they gave the effort and grit that Braden Shen shows every night, we wouldn't be talking about the Blues in the manner that we do.
There's time to correct it.
You're right.
You're
right.
Early, and that's the thing that we can't lose sight of. We're early. We still have an Olympic break to go through. You've got time to take care of the injuries. You've got time to get your head right. The coach has time to let players separate for a while and understand why they play the sport, why they do what they do, and then get back together and hopefully have a rejuvenated attitude towards winning, towards pushing, towards being what I'm supposed to be on this ice.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just game's going to start here. I just got to get to the end of the game.
Well,
and then whatever happens in between happens. And at least that's what, when I watch a game, that's how I feel.
Well, I think you're on to something when it comes to that. So for me, on the calendar, Flag Day in baseball, June 14th, is a day where now I know what we have.
Okay.
And I know we have time to fix it. For hockey, it's Martin Luther King birthday.
Okay.
after January 15th, now we know what we have, and you still have time to fix it.
Yeah.
In the NFL, it's Halloween. You know, because in football today, because of the lack of physical play contact in the exhibition season, and your best players don't play, you need a month to get yourself in football shape.
Yeah.
So those are my days I circle on the calendar on when I really take this serious. And so we're coming up on MLK Day here pretty soon, and by then we know what you have. You've dealt with injury. You've brought people up from the minors. You know what they can do and what they can't do. You know what you need, and you still have time to go out and get it and make it a competitive season.
It's tick-tock-tick right now because we're talking 20-plus days.
The year when they won in 19, they really didn't get this thing going until after the first of the year.
I think they got rid of the coach, in that time period too.
Exactly.
Because they knew that wasn't the guy that could drive the bus. Callie's a big fan, by the way,
I think
of the Blues.
I think Jim Montgomery is the right coach for this situation.
Yeah, I agree with that because of what I've seen of him and the way there's something about body language. There's something about facial expressions that there's times when I would watch Marmol and I would question whether or not he had the stones to be that guy.
Oh.
But I believe it now.
Church bells.
And when I see him.
Yeah, church bells. I'll just let it go with that.
When I see Montgomery, I feel that, this guy's got the stones to do it. And one of the points you bring up is that do all the players have the stones to be those guys? And there's one incident that happened that we touched on when they pulled Bennington. Yeah. And you saw Bennington kind of, fight back at the coach, a little mouthy and things like that.
I'm glad he did. It tells me he wants to play.
Yeah. But you also saw Montgomery just kind of let it go like, this is an example to you all.
We saw this recently. Steve Kerr and Draymond Green had a moment like this early in the week. And it was not.
It went somewhere.
Yeah, it went somewhere. But they both acknowledged, that, hey, we probably could have handled it. And when you've been with a guy, they've been together, 12 years. Marriages have those moments too, from what I'm told.
I've been with my wife for 38 years. I don't remember any of those moments. I think it was all smooth sailing.
What? Let me just tell you this.
I've been there for 35 of those years.
I'm going to say, while you're on the radio right now, you don't remember any of those moments, okay?
They're all great moments.
Because you'll have one when you get home. You'll have one if you get home.
We'll have a different conversation on Monday
exactly.
when the time comes.
Hey, Rennie, how the weekend go?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Remember all the stuff I said about blessings? There's a couple I got wrong. It's interesting when we start talking about coaches and how coaches motivate you because Easton's coach at WashU, Coach K, has just written a book. And he and I had a conversation about the book and the stories, and he said that he wants to put Easton in his next book because of some of the things that took place. And it's interesting how you can have these great athletes who have tremendous athletic ability, but it takes a certain instance, a certain something that kicks you in the butt and makes you become that guy. Am I right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I, at this point, love to point out that I was a thorn in Coach K's side for 4 years, probably made him a little bit grayer than he was or was going to be at that age. But I think that there was so much of his message and so much of him as a coach, as a leader of young men, where I was solely focused on the football side of things and what I was going to do and how my spring practices went, nothing else that was going on in my life or how I was doing them in relation to the team, how that impacted others, how others saw that. And, you kind of buy in over time because you have to, and then you get moving. And by my senior year and after I graduate, I look back and I go, I am a completely different human being because of the way this man pushed me and the way this man made me embrace not only what it meant to be a teammate, but what it meant to have eyes on you, what it meant that, the captain is the leader of the team, but every single person has the ability to lead others. And it is something that when you're 18, 19 years old, you think that you rule the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get a little bit older, and now as a coach myself, being able to see those instances of a guy coming into a team like, oh, I can do this. This is no problem. I'll do it the way I want to do it. It's fine. It's like, It's not about that, because one day you're going to come up against something that you can't just get out of because you've been the best your whole life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not just about, being the greatest guy on the football field or on the ice. Sometimes it's about being the guy you think you are in a certain environment, and then realize that we can do without you, and that it's going to go on with or without you. And that's hard to swallow.
I think coaching today is hard at every level, especially on the youth level, because parents are so much more engaged.
Well, hold on a second, because I got to take this break before I end up
you're
getting
going to take
behind.
a break here?
I got to.
You're learning
But
this radio thing.
There's this
here.
other thing
it.
on the side of the break that I want to touch on with you.
All right.
And that is about the NIL and the portal.
Oh, man.
Because I think that's the other thing that enters into this conversation. You're listening to the Dave Glover Show right now. It is 1:46 on December the 26th. Thanks for being with us. We're going to take a break. We will be right back.
So...
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Winter Wonderland, presented by St. Louis County Parks and Recreation at Tillis Park, is now open through January 3rd. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes. Whether you're carrying on a family tradition or starting a new one, you'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. Happy holidays from Kirkwood Fence, Tully Tire, Washington University Orthopedics, Restoration One, and Happy Roof. More info at KMOX.com.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The wait is over, and we are now selling at the Reserve at Wildwood. The early bird gets the worm, so call today and pick the home of your dreams at the coveted Wildwood Town Center, located at Highway 100 and 109. You will love the design of the Reserve, with its extensive trails and wooded common ground. In a park-like setting, select from our popular Liberty or luxurious Designer Series homes from the 560s. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Once again, we're not going to make it all the way to the lyrics But this is Run DMC. You're listening to the Dave Glover Show, and this is Rene Knott behind the microphone. Joined in the studio by my son, Easton, my good friend, Callie, and, of course, the one and only Mike Claiborne. And, Mike, before we went to break, we were talking a little bit about what's it like these days with the athletes and trying to get the most out of the athlete. And one of the things that's got me right now is this whole transfer portal and the NIL in college sports, because I think guys are chasing the dollars, and that's okay. But the loyalty is going out the window.
There's no such thing as loyalty.
And I got to ask, if you're leaving because it's about the dollars or you're chasing the dollars, then what is your full commitment to that team and actually with winning with that particular team?
Well, you know what? But this goes back to coaching, because coaches did this all the time.
True.
You know, and so the kid was stuck there at the school because he couldn't transfer.
Mm-hmm.
If he did, he had to sit out. So now it's free reign. They've got to reel it in. I think, I'm trying to think, maybe it was a Calipari who came up with the concept that you can transfer twice. The second time, you have 5 years to complete your eligibility.
Okay.
You can transfer twice, but the second time you have to sit out a year.
So you lose a year of eligibility.
Yeah, you lose a year.
Because now guys are playing, 6 years? They're getting like 6.
Man, you have guys that's like
their kids are in the stands watching
exactly.
the play.
You know, and I mean, so at some point we've got to tie this thing down, because, you know, you have guys that are 26, 27 years old playing against 18-year-old kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the NIL and the money that comes with it, there's a lot of mismanagement already that's taking place. And for a lot of these kids, they get the check, but they're not paying the taxes. They're not employees, so they're getting the 1099.
Yeah.
And nobody's putting that money away for the tax issues. I mean, there's so many things wrong with it. Now, I don't begrudge any of these kids making money. I don't. But I think there's got to be some guardrails put in place to ensure that this young person is going to have a chance to have a successful life after they finish,
like have a trust fund or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I think the financial literacy is out the window, because the kids that are getting the money are kids that come from a background where there is no money. There is no financial literacy. And so no one is setting the tone to say, hey, we're going to put this away and do that. I believe it was Jason Tatum was the first time I saw this, but I guess it happens quite a bit, where his mother said, you're going to live off of your endorsement money, and the rest of the money we're putting away.
Well, I know Klay Thompson was like that.
Yeah.
Michael Thompson was like, no, bro, you're going to live off the endorsement money. You're going to get you a 2-bedroom apartment. You're only going to have one car. That's all you need. But you know, the problem is there just aren't enough people who are willing to step up and do that, because they're enamored by this large sum of money that comes in also. So it's a challenge. We got to fix it, because we're running off too many good coaches that are just fed up. I know more college coaches that are looking for NFL jobs. It used to be the other way around. But now, you know, you come in and you want to coach a kid up, and now you have to recruit him basically every day, because somebody else is calling them, trying to recruit them. It's a circus that they've got to come up with a solution for.
Well, what they have now, general managers in college sports, because they've got people who've got to be able to take care of the business side of the business.
And you better have a fundraiser for NIL. That doesn't coincide with having your boosters who are already supporting you.
Right.
So you have to go out and find a whole new batch of donors. And so, like, Troy Aikman made the point, the kid that transferred from UCLA, he said, I wrote out a check to make sure he was there, and he already left. And he said, I never met him.
But let's not forget about Troy was at Oklahoma, and
he
transferred
went to
UCLA.
Exactly.
So, and that was because, was it Holiday was the quarterback that took over the little guy, Jamal
Holloway.
Took over a quarterback at OU, and then he became the option quarterback, and Troy went to UCLA. And where's Holiday now? We don't know. We're going to step aside once again, because I'm going to be on time for this break. You're listening to the Dave Glover Show, running out behind the microphone, joined in studio by a host of people. On the other side of the break, we're going to be joined by local motivational speaker Ben Newman. Trust me, he will get you ready for 2026.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey, and can you believe it's already the holiday season? While most people are thinking about lights and gift lists, a lot of homeowners are also wondering if now is the right time to sell or if they should wait until the new year. So I'm here with Gloria Liu from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, what should sellers be thinking about right now?
Great question. Even during the holidays, serious buyers are still out there, and with fewer homes on the market, sellers actually face less competition. When we get into the new year, listings start to spike and competition rises. But that's never a problem for my clients because I guarantee to sell your home at your price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. Whether you want to move now or after the holidays, we'll make it smooth and stress-free.
That's why Gloria Liu is the trusted choice for St. Louis home sellers. Call 314-325-6888 or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. From all of us, happy holidays, and here's to your next move being your best one. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's chicken pot pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
You know how we all of our kids make lists and everything and visit with Santa, and I happen to be really good friends with Santa. It's like we're the same people. So every once in a while, you know, when he's got some free time, which he did, we're cool. So he always makes it a point to stop in and have an adult beverage with me. I was talking to him about, do you ever have requests for a homeowner wanting a furnace or an air conditioner? He said he does. And I said, so what do you deliver on that? Because I'm your best bud and you never let me know, so I've never delivered anything or put anything together. But he said he was going to leave my number and my card. If you don't find it, here's what's on my card. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B. Inman with an I.com. Merry Christmas and God bless.
Celebrating 100 years and wishing you the best of the holiday season. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
At 2 o'clock, we have 63 degrees, mostly sunny skies downtown at the Arch. I'm Sean Malone. Our top story this hour, President Trump ordered an airstrike against ISIS in northeastern Nigeria. CBS military analyst Jeff McCausland told KMOX's Hancock and Kelly.
Those who believe this is kind of one and done and a dozen Tomahawk cruise missiles are going to solve this massive violence problem in Nigeria, I think are in for a rude awakening.
President Trump said on social media that the terrorist group had been targeting and viciously killing innocent Christians. A new study finds sleep apnea raises the risk of heart health issues later in life. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has details.
The researchers studied 30,000 adults at high risk of obstructive sleep apnea and found they have 40% higher odds of depression and other mental health conditions. Study author Dr. Tetiana Kanzerska at the University of Ottawa says they suffer oxygen level drops during their fragmented sleep.
Frequent sleep disruption can also disturb the body stress and hormone systems, making it harder to maintain emotional balance.
She says more people need to be screened for sleep apnea. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A Thursday afternoon shooting in South St. Louis is now classified as a homicide. Police say it happened after 2 on Christmas Day at the BP gas station on South Kings Highway. A 68-year-old man has died from his injuries. Charles Jett lives in that neighborhood. He spoke with our news partners at Fox 2.
I was walking over here to get a pack of cigarettes. I'm going to go to my sister's house for dinner. And I saw all the police stuff around here. I was just wishing everybody was okay. It scared me.
Police are said to be looking for 2 suspects. They're hoping to speak with anyone who knows something about the incident. Meanwhile, Arnold police are investigating a fiery crash that killed a driver early this morning. It happened at around 4:30 near Arnold Commons. Police say the 70-year-old woman behind the wheel likely had a medical emergency before the crash. Her body was removed from the car after firefighters doused the flames. Amidst the hot start, SLU basketball coach Josh Schertz is noticing a growing crowd at Billikens games. He says a St. Louis Blues playoff Game 6 last year showed him how supportive the city can be of successful teams.
That environment was just incredible, and it was probably my epiphany of man, what this could be, what a great sports town St. Louis is if you're winning and you're entertaining, and you got to be able to do both. You got to earn it.
The 11-1 Billikens are back in action Sunday at home against Principia on KMOX. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, retailers have had a happy holiday season, but may have to pay the price in early 2026. Bert Flickinger, managing director of the retail consulting firm Strategic Resource Group, estimates holiday sales were up 5 to 7% this year, but prices were 6 to 7% higher, so it was basically a break even for retailers.
The idiosyncratic irony is the prices were 6 to 7% higher. So with tariffs and record prices, it's basically a break even.
Intervals of clouds and sun, and unseasonably warm this afternoon. The high 66 to 70. The record is 70 from 1942. Partly cloudy tonight with areas of fog around late tonight, low 43. Areas of low clouds and fog will give way to some sun tomorrow, high 63. Sunday, cloudy, breezy, and warm with periods of rain, even a gusty thunderstorm, the high 70, turning windy and sharply colder Sunday night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, we're looking at 61 in St. Peter's, 62 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, mostly sunny skies, 63 degrees. I'm Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
I love when Daniel gives me the go ahead and start talking thing, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to rock out and let this play out a little bit here and enjoy it.
No, that's down the hall.
Is that what okay?
They play that music
around the
down
corner,
the
and there's music on the other side of the building. This is Rene Knott filling in for Dave Glover on this Friday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Wow, 2025 is slowly closing out. A lot of things have happened since the first of the year. We can only hope that in 2026 things are that much better for us all. And one of the things that can help us get there is to have somebody in our corner. Someone who can motivate us, someone can give us that kick in the rear end, or just those words in our ear that kind of give you that opportunity to say, you know what, I got this. I can do this. So I was thinking the other day as I was asked to fill in, and I thought, well, who could I get to help us kick it into 2026? And I thought, oh, Ben Newman. Ben Newman, he is the man. This guy helped lead the Alabama Crimson Tide with Nick Saban. This man has helped college football teams overcome. He's helped businesses overcome. And I know he can help the citizens who listen to KMOX overcome as well and achieve something they may have not thought they could achieve until someone made them believe that they could. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, Ben Newman, into the program. How are you doing, Ben?
Rennie, it is always great to hear your voice. Building a friendship with you over 20 years, it still puts a smile on my face.
Well, I thank you for being there for me, not just as, started off with financial consulting and then branched into what you do now, but being that guy that I can call and can give me a couple of words. And really, it's just in the conversations we have doing interviews where I walk away feeling like, and we talked about this earlier in the segment, I could run through a wall. There's an intensity that you bring when you're behind the microphone, when you're on stage. Where does that intensity come from?
Well, for me, Rennie, and I appreciate you asking the question, especially this time of year when, so many individuals, they're right at that end of that 12-round fight, 12 months in a year. And, many of us, we've just had these great years. You feel like you've won big and you're getting ready to ask yourself the question, do I have it within me to do it again? And for me, what I've always found is empowering and inspiring others to find what I call their burn. So many coaches and speakers, they talk about why and purpose, but I've believed and I've seen it written so many times from so many different authors and athletes and business owners, when you find that burn, that internal fire, that drive that ignites why and purpose, calendar doesn't care. Whether it's the end of the year, the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, the end of a quarter, you stay connected to that burn and you find a little extra fight, especially on the days you don't feel like it.
What has been your burn?
Well, for me, it was having to grow up, and you've heard me tell this so many times, but I had to grow up so fast. So many St. Louisans here. You guys will know what I'm talking about. National interviews, they don't necessarily know when I say Waverton Drive, but I grew up on Waverton Drive in Ladue, and I'm a Ladue high school grad, and so I'm just a kid from the Lou, and I had to grow up really, really fast, watching my mother battle a rare muscle disease as a single mom, fighting to make ends meet. And 11 days before my 8th birthday, my mother passed away from a disease called amyloidosis. Right there on 33 Waverton, we had 24-hour nursing care. And, my mom would come to the dinner table with an IV stand to ask me how my day was at school. And when I look back on that now, and I didn't understand it as a 7-year-old boy, but when I look back on it now, the strength and the fire and the conviction and the passion that my mother must have had with the pain. 24-hour nursing care in the house. There were times where I had to climb under my mother's IV wires to tuck her in at night, but she would make it to that dining room table. Mike, Rennie, I'm telling you, she'd make it to that dining room table every night, even if had an IV stand with her, and she would ask me how my day was at school. And it made me realize that there's a fight and this burn inside of you that I can't waste a day. And so for me, I think of my mom every single morning. Her name is on my alarm clock when I wake up to make sure I don't hit that snooze button. And I fight to be the best husband I can be. I fight to be the best father that I can be. And I mess those things up all the time, but I give it my best. And I try to empower and inspire others to find their burn. Because my mother's story is going to wake people up. It might inspire you for a short while, but I believe everybody has that burn from sacrifice, pain that's given them perspective to fight when they don't feel like it.
One of the questions I had for you, we're near the end of the year and everybody has their resolutions and things of that nature. And I've always found when you procrastinate, why not start now? Why wait till the first of the year? So how do you get people engaged in saying, now's as good a time as any compared to saying, I'm going to stop doing this on January 1st or I'm going to start doing more of this on January 1st? Isn't now as good a time as any?
And that's where, it's such a great question, Mike. And I always think about, things that Coach Saban used to tell us. I was blessed to spend 5 years and be part of 2 national championships as the mental conditioning coach for Alabama. And he used to share with us all the time, if you guys would have come to practice with me, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And, he would teach us, you don't pick and choose when you want to be great. That's a choice you have to make every single day. And so I think when you connect to that burn, as I had mentioned earlier, the calendar doesn't care what day it is. You have to make a choice to do what's necessary every single day. And I want to give a shout out to another dear friend in St. Louis and that you guys both know well, my good buddy Drew Hanlon. Mm-hmm. And I remember Drew said one time we were sharing the stage at an event, and he said, man, it is much harder to try to figure out how to do something 90% of the time than to just do it 100. Huh. And it's so true. Just wake up and do what you know you need to do that makes you feel good. to be a great example for those little eyes that are watching you in your home or the person you're an example for. Don't pick and choose, because if you pick and choose and you fall short, that might be the day that they're watching the closest.
You're listening to Dave Newman right now, or Dave Glover's show. Ben Newman. I don't know. You guys aren't related, are you?
Not that he knows of.
This is one of those times when I'm not accustomed to doing radio. It's like, normally these things are taped, and so I can correct myself without anybody knowing. But this is on live radio. One of the things that I find, and I was talking to these guys during the break, is that it's not just the time of the day, it's the time of your life, because any moment in your life, things can change up. But unless you take control of it at some point, it can get out of hand real quick. And I know for me, things got out of hand a few years ago because I thought I needed to buy things and be this and be that. It is just now at the age of 61 that I have this other awakening that takes place. How often do you see people later in their years have these awakenings and that they finally get their lives on track?
Well, let me first say, and Mike, I think you can attest to this, how proud you are when you look at, Rene now. But Rene, I remember, meeting you 20 years ago and walking into your house for the first time and meeting Marla for the first time. And yes, I mean, you always had your closet, like you never wore the same thing twice. It was beautiful watches. But I remember, being a former athlete, you weren't making the choices that you knew you needed to, and then you made a choice that your health and being there for Aaron and for Easton and being there for their lives, and you got healthy and you lost weight. I know you still enjoy a good cheeseburger, but man, you look so good because you made the choice. And so that's what I think is a great opportunity for all of us, is find those examples where just because you have patterns of behavior that last a certain amount of time a certain way doesn't mean you can't change them. And so, it's funny that you bring up nice things, because, Rene, if you remember, I cold called you for business because I loved your watch. And now, like both of us, it's like those things don't matter as much as just family and health and just being our best that we can be for our families and for those we love and get to spend time with.
Yeah, I think there's always this thing called an image. And I think the image you always wanted to present, especially as a young black man, is that you wanted people to look at you and say, oh, that guy is successful. And so often success was tied to material things, be it a car, be it a watch, be it a suit, be it a look. And so I felt that, well, no one's going to listen to me unless they saw me and go, that guy must be somebody to listen to. Look at him. He's doing well in his life. But I think that is an image that is seen a lot, and people don't know the true stories unless they start turning the pages and understand there's a lot more to it, a lot of background, a lot of people who are just being propped up by what they think is the right thing to do, but what they're actually doing is falling down because they're not taking care of the foundation and the support systems.
It is so true, and actually hearing you say that makes me think, why did, or why do, people invite you? Why do they love hearing you? It's energy. It's you could go and do something for a philanthropy event. It's like, they're not inviting you, Rene, because they know you're going to wear a great outfit. They're like, man, we love that big smile, and we love that energy. And, basketball season is kicking into high gear, and the next book that I'm going to write is going to be called The Process. And I'm going to engage people with a concept that I really designed through researching Mark Few, who I've never had the chance to work with Mark or the Gonzaga basketball program, but a legendary Hall of Fame coach. And he teaches his players energy-giving behaviors. He calls them EGBs. And they're all the things that you wouldn't expect coaches to track: diving on the floor, high fives, the stuff that doesn't show up in a box score. And I heard this, and I read this, and I studied it, and I've now brought it to the business world, and I call them high-energy units. And it's what can we do, right? Like, I'm not playing basketball, but what can we do if we're not an athlete in our regular lives? And I think to bring like the high energy that people expect of you, Rene, for all of us, whoever's listening, to bring high energy to your families, to bring high energy to your businesses, to bring your high energy to the world, that's something that people are attracted to. And so I can't wait to bring that out in the next book, but I've introduced it in our business coaching as well as our athletic program, our athletic coaching. It's had a profound impact on how people show up because they're choosing to intentionally focus on the energy that they bring.
Ben, how does it start? It sounds like a simple question, but I know people who say, well, I'm going to turn my life around for this reason or that reason, and I'm listening to you, and you sound like a guy that's motivated, and you can get people moving in the right direction. But internally, it's got to start somewhere. So how does one take that first step?
Well, I think for those that, heard me sharing about my mom, we have to find our unique stories that are going to get us up out of bed. I remember the first time that Marshall Falk and I had the chance to share the stage together. It was actually a virtual event for COVID. I'll never forget it. I asked our friends, actually it was Andy Frisella from First Form, another great St. Louis company, and a friend of his, Ed Milet, and they have us on for this big virtual event. And I was like, hey, can I stay on and listen to Marshall? They're like, of course. And I'd known Marshall for years, and we all loved Marshall from when he was here in St. Louis. And I remember Marshall told the story of when he would leave the house in San Diego growing up as a kid. The house, there were 11 kids in the house. Mm-hmm. He shares with the audience listening virtually, a great sandwich was white bread and sugar on it. Mm. And he said, I would leave that house every single day before I would go train, and I would say, today I'm going to give it everything that I've got so nobody in that house ever has to eat white bread and sugar sandwiches ever again. And so that right there is another example of the burn. And I shared that with Marshall, my work at Kansas State. My dear friend and future Hall of Fame coach Chris Kleiman just retired. We ended an 11-year run together, but our last game was against Colorado. And I reminded Marshall of that as we stood on the 50-yard line during warm-ups, and he smiled so big. But those are the stories that make the difference. It's Marshall thinking about white bread and sugar. It's me thinking about my mother coming to the table with an IV. It's each individual has to find that and then choose just one day at a time. Connect to that burn or what deeply drives you that says, I won't waste this day. And rather than trying to figure out what the result is going to be, just stay connected to that one day and that one opportunity. Make the most of it and stack those opportunities. The byproduct is in sports and in business, you'll win at high levels.
Hey, Ben, can you hang out just a little bit longer with us?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back on the other side here on the Dave Glover Show and talk more with Ben Newman. He's a man that can get you motivated for 2026 and beyond. Stay with us.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
Dr. Martin Luther King.
There for every headline.
This is KMOX, the news voice of St. Louis. Martin Luther King, father of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, was killed by an assassin's bullet tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
The assassination of Dr. King tonight demonstrates to what depth some people in this great nation of ours have fallen.
Dr. Martin Luther King was my friend, as he was to hundreds of clergymen and thousands of church leaders in this city who heard him gladly when we brought him here. I express on behalf of all his friends here our deepest sympathy.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Together Credit Union. Achieve more with competitive rates on savings and lending. Visit togethercu.org.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. Who would have thought a car crash would have led to charities, TV shows, and cheering with the best fans in the world? I'm thankful for every day. And so are my friends at Renner Garage Door. They've been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. With help from trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, honest family-style service you can count on. So giddy up and get your free repair or replacement quote today. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER. We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, this is John Kelly. Congratulations from the Kelly family to KMOX Radio, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. We come in with a little bit of Run DMC in the background because I was asked beforehand, what is my favorite music? And I thought, well, what rap music can I say that will be tolerated by the masses? I better go Run DMC. Everything else got a little bit much to it. Yeah, it's safe. It is safe. Running out behind the microphone in studio here at KMOX alongside Mike Claiborne. We also have my son Easton here, my good friend Callie as well. And on the phone we have Ben Newman. And a lot of folks may not know Ben, but I suggest that you Google him right now so you can learn more about him because
not
he's
while
a guy.
You're driving.
Not well, unless you got one of those cars.
Well,
you just verbally ask the car to do things, right?
I don't think you can Google.
You can't Google.
That's
okay.
disabled.
Well, as I told you guys, I have a Mini Cooper.
You don't have that. You don't have that luxury in your car.
I just do have automatic windows. I have to roll them down. But Ben is a guy that has motivated athletes as well as CEOs across not just our nation but across the world. He's a guy that knows how to get the burn out of you and to make you do things that make you all that you could possibly be. But Ben, in many ways, to be the person you can be, to reach your full potential, it really is all about the person themselves and finding it within themselves to get it done. Yes?
Absolutely. It makes me think of something I oftentimes share with coaches and leaders. You can only lead somebody to the level of discipline in which you live. And, you having me on for a little extra segment here, I'm going to cut it to you guys raw because I care that much about everybody listening and, want to make sure that there's action or a choice to take action rather than, us just sharing some stories and thoughts and quick motivation because motivation doesn't last. And so I think it's important that we have to say, what's the action that I'm willing to take? And we live in a world where everybody tells you how great they want to be, but until we have a conversation with your action, we don't really know what the real story is. We don't really know how bad you want it. And so I would just encourage everybody to reflect back. If there's an action step, something I could take for you to go through this quick exercise and take it into next year, ask yourself these two questions. What are the habits and disciplines that I'm taking with me into 2026? Right? So mirror of accountability, not impressing anybody, the real raw truth for yourself so that you can change and be better heading into next year. What are the habits and disciplines you're most proud of? I need to keep doing these things. They're coming with me into 2026. And then I would encourage everybody with just a ruthless honesty for yourself. And you don't have to tell anybody the answers. They're for you. What are you leaving behind in 2025? And, that type of honesty with ourselves when we break down our year or our life, the way that we ask athletes to break down game film, when you do that and you choose to make change, that's where the real story and the real impact is written.
Can the expectation be too big, though? Can I sit here and say, I'm going to do this in 2026, and can I be so unrealistic because, that's impossible? Or is it possible to set a bar and get there no matter how high that bar is?
I'm so glad you asked that question, Rennie, because I think there is this careful balance of I'm a huge thinker, and I encourage people to think big. But that realistic word, it doesn't mean that I'm saying don't think big. But if your revenue this year was $1, right, for the year, and next year, then to say you're going to have $100, it's probably like, really, is it really going to be 100? Let's talk in millions, right? $1 million to 100 million. But if your revenues were $1 million, could you get to 3? What's the number that deep down inside it stretches you, pushes you, and challenges you? Don't pick the number for comfort. Oh, it's 5% growth, knowing that with the habits and disciplines you've built, you can easily get there. Really push and challenge yourself. But I think that is an accurate thing, to say that my business is going to grow 100 times over in 1 year. Probably not realistic. It's not us encouraging somebody to think small. It's thinking realistic. But everybody knows that point of challenge. Most people aren't willing to meet it and take action every day.
You also have to be considerate of your own mental health, correct? That I can't push myself beyond my own mental limits.
Without question. And I think that's a really important thing where I still have 2 coaches. I mean, this is the work that I do, and I've been blessed to work with some of the highest performers to ever walk the face of the earth, and they count on me to help them. But if I'm not doing things to make sure that my mental state is okay, and I have challenges every day. I have challenges personally. I have challenges professionally. I try my best in order to handle things the right way, and I mess up in doing so. But I need those coaches. I need my beautiful wife, Amy, to help me with those tough personal things that go sometimes. Like you don't have to do it by yourself. So I think that's an important piece that you bring up, Rennie. Very important piece. There's nothing wrong with having somebody to help you.
Understandable. I got to ask you this because I was telling them that, you got to hear Ben, because when Ben talks, they're so intense. And at the same time, he'll just start sweating because he's so intense about it. Are you sweating right now?
I'm sweating a little bit, actually.
But in a good way, in an intense way, yes?
Yeah, for me, there's an intensity about me that when people get to know me, sometimes I think they're just like, man, this guy's intense. But then they realize I love what I do, and I love challenging people in a way that most people aren't willing to challenge them. And I think life is so short. Why would we ever want to protect ourselves when we can step into the fire, especially do it, with somebody who cares and loves and supports us? And I've got great coaches that have done that for me, and I try my best to do that for others.
Well, Ben, I appreciate you coming on and chatting with us and getting people in the right mindset heading into a brand new year. But as Mike brought up and as you brought up too, nothing wrong with getting started today. If not, get started tomorrow. Why wait to January 1st of 2026? You're also going to be on the podcast, The Rundown with Rene Knott. I look forward to that sit down. That should be intense.
I cannot wait.
I'm sitting here thinking maybe I should wear a tank top for that one so that I can sweat too, because I know it's going to be intense. Ben, tell the family I said hello, and thank you so much for being here, and all the best to you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Rennie, thank you so much. Please tell Marla and the kids hello, and Mike, thank you for the opportunity. Just one last quick thing. Greatest life lesson I ever learned, it came from my mom. It's not how long you live, it's how you choose to live your life. So just big blessings and love to all the citizens of St. Louis that I love so much that we all have an opportunity to spend time with on settings like this. So thank you for having me, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Back at you, sir.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Ben. We're going to step aside one more time here for this end of the half hour. I'm back on the other side with more of our chat on this beautiful, warm December 26th in St. Louis. What is it, like 60, 70 degrees outside?
Something wrong outside.
Something wrong. Something real wrong. Global warming? You tell me.
No, they say that's a scam.
Okay. Yes. We'll be right back.
For 100 years, KMOX has been the voice of St. Louis, informing, entertaining, and connecting our community. Now, relive a century of service at KMOX100.com, a website that allows you to explore classic KMOX audio, rare photos and video, and the legendary voices that shaped St. Louis. Every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat lives on at KMOX100.com.
This is Todd Krenz with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. We work closely with professionals in healthcare, from doctors and nurses to medical sales in biotech and pharma. Our team helps you navigate complex financial decisions like retirement plans, disability insurance, consolidating old 401ks, and understanding stock options or RSUs. We make the process clear so you can focus on what you do best. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Krenz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
There are the holidays in your head. Oh, here you go, my handsome husband.
Thank you, my gorgeous wife.
Then there's reality. Mark, Aubrey's frozen from the waist down. I think the heat is out.
It's part of the experience, honey. Besides, nobody's going to come out on the holidays.
You serious, Mark?
Got a full-blown 5-alarm emergency? Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and installation pros are ready 24/7, even on holidays. If your heat goes out, Air Comfort Service is prepared to get you warmed up back in the holiday spirit. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO250BM and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to new users only. Minimum odds -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beep when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan, along with Dr. Colleen Bosler and Dr. Adam Voss at the Audiology Center. When was the last time you really enjoyed a conversation without straining to hear?
Charlie, so many people think hearing aids just make things louder.
But that's old technology. Today's hearing aids do so much more.
Exactly. With the dual chip technology, our hearing aids actually separate the speech from the background noise.
Which means, at a noisy restaurant, you'll hear your friends and family, not the clinking dishes.
And the best part? Your brain doesn't have to work overtime trying to fill in the blanks.
So that keeps your mind sharp, your conversations easy, and your relationships stronger.
Because hearing well isn't just about sound, it's about staying connected.
Thanks, Doctor. Call the Audiology Center today to schedule your annual hearing evaluation. Don't miss another moment. Call 636-441-7470 or visit the audiologycenterstl.com.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
For nearly half a century, Jack Buck was the unmistakable sound of St. Louis. His warm storytelling and unforgettable calls transformed baseball on the radio. From Cardinals championships to the everyday heartbeat of the season, Jack's voice became part of life in St. Louis.
It's the great American pastime, baseball. It's not just a game invented for athletes who can run from home to first in 4 seconds. It's a game made for kids and played by kids.
Beyond baseball, he was a full-range broadcaster. Buck hosted the station's At Your Service and Sports Open Line programs. He was a storyteller whose humor and humility resonated with fans far beyond the ballpark. Jack Buck, a KMOX pioneer.
Get ready for Monday Night Football as the Rams face the Falcons.
Seichmann Cancer Center game time, 6 p.m. Seichmann Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Rams, the Falcons, on America's Sports Voice, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right now, name that tune.
I'm bad with names.
Yeah, I can't name it either. I just like the sound
I know
of
it, but I just...
You know it, Easton?
This is the first one I didn't know.
Okay. Callie?
Too young.
Too young. 'Cause, you know, a lot of times the kids will hear this music and think that it's a different song because it was mixed in something that they learned later in life.
I'll tell you. Now, Easton, did you listen to your dad's music when you were in the car with him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then I stole it later.
Okay.
Still does. We mean used to.
So my kids, when I would take them to school, would listen to my music. So then they go away to college, and they were at a party, and my daughter tells me they were playing some P-Funk at this party, and this girl was like, "Oh my God, I've never heard this before. I gotta go find." And so when she told her, "This is what my dad listened to," and it's amazing how the music goes full circle.
Oh yeah.
Although I'm not a big fan of today's music because I don't think we have enough legitimate musicians because of technology.
I can agree with that.
I mean,
agree with that.
you know, when I talk about great guitar players under the age of 40, you know, who can really play.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, technology has taken over so much, it's hard to find legitimate bands to really listen to.
Yeah.
And so don't get me started on that.
Well, you know, it's interesting you brought up Parliament Funkadelic because the very first concert I ever went to in my entire life was at the Los Angeles Forum, and I believe it was Mothership Connection or something along those lines.
Which is in the
is what it was.
Smithsonian, by the way.
Yeah, and that's where it started with me. Brothers Johnson, I think, also played.
Louis Johnson, Brothers Johnson.
Yeah, the Brothers Johnson. Yeah.
And well, he was the bass player on Michael Jackson Thriller.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. I just learned something new today. So I'm today's years old when I found all that out. What's crazy about it all is that music lasts the test of time. It might be sampled in other things, but One Nation Under a Groove. The first time I heard One Nation Under a Groove, I was a ninth grader at Inglewood High School. The basketball team was doing a pep rally in the afternoon, lunchtime. That song starts up, basketball team comes in from the locker room, and they circle around, and everybody's going nuts, and each guy comes up and just stonks the basketball. But it was that song that set it apart, because if it wasn't for that way that song grooved and brought you into it,
see,
it was just a bunch of guys dunking a basketball.
Not So Knee Deep is the one that gets me on the floor.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
These two are over here going, huh?
Yeah.
Who that is? What that is? What that's all about? But
don't worry, you'll be in that spot here.
I will say this though: yesterday, watching the halftime show with Snoop Dogg, I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great halftime show.
So
mixed reviews by folks, but I think 90% of them said it was good.
So here's my challenge with TV now. Now that we have the streaming, we talked about it earlier in the show. Somebody's got to come up with a way where my streaming does not interfere with my direct stream, where I want to be able to go from YouTube or Netflix back to CBS.
Yeah.
Or ESPN or whatever. Yeah. Because the whole spinning thing and having to redo, that's just...
Out of an app, into an app.
Yeah.
Out of an app, into an app.
So can we find somebody who can make that, just put all that together and we can make that happen?
I think it'll eventually happen.
Well, it's starting to happen. People are all buying each other. You've got Hulu on Disney, HBO on Netflix, and in terms of the old,
on my remote control to be able to go from one to the other without having to.
Then that may be a Samsung question.
Might be user error.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's very much the thing, is each company buying out each other. And I think on the sports side of things, when you've got a Netflix or a Prime game that's a standalone game, it's one thing. Like, okay, I'd love to be able to switch to something else, but this is the only game that's on right now, so I'm not worried about it too much. The moment that they venture into that, hey, we are a part of, 5 different games that are on right now, or whatever it might be, that's when they will say, oh, we actually have to fix this, because that's when people are really going to say, I'll deal with it for right now. The day that it's, I got to switch back and forth to watch a game that's on right now, Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But that was the case yesterday, if you think about it. So we're NFL guys. We're watching NFL. But, Lakers are playing yesterday. But to get to the Lakers game, I got to get out of Netflix
so
to go back
I just
to
stayed
YouTube.
with basketball. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right,
it was actually good. Well, one more before you go. See, he's wearing the Commanders. They actually played a decent game yesterday. A game that everybody thought they're going to get blown out.
Exactly.
Really came down to the last play of the game.
Hey, we tried our best to get blown out at first, but they fought.
Yeah. Listen to him. I like that.
Okay. Don't you love that?
The beauty of it is, I've loved that team my entire life, and my friends in D.C. loved that team for however many years. If you would have talked to me, 5, 8 years ago, there was no we. It's
them.
Them. And it was, you don't want to claim them. You want to stay away from them. You seeing the district right now, and you walk around and people are actually wearing Commanders gear. They're actually excited about what? Like, yes, it's amazing last year, Jaden Daniels, everything else. But even before that, people are proud of this team.
There's
again.
a vibe.
It is.
There's a vibe.
It's amazing. It's like, okay, great.
So now you're obviously a command. Rene, did you like? See, I've always been a Cardinals Blues fan.
Okay. All right.
Lived and died with them.
Yeah.
But I'm not that sports fan, and I'm in the business of sport where I have teams that I just follow because of whatever other reason.
Yeah.
So what about you guys?
So I grew up in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So my teams were actually, I love the Dodgers, but I love USC and UCLA. I like the Lakers during the Showtime Laker team.
I'm a
and
Laker
all that.
guy. Now I take that back.
And
I've been a Laker guy since I was a child.
You got to love the Lakers.
Yeah.
Just the way they play the game. But my favorite all-time athlete is two people, Muhammad Ali and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I knew Kareem as he was Lou Alcindor when he played for UCLA. I watched him then. I watched him play for the Bucks. And, of course, watched him dominate when he went to the Lakers. So I grew up with those. Now, this young guy over here has changed horses quite a bit in his lifetime. But that's okay. He's always stuck with the Commanders. And he's always stuck with the Maryland Terrapins.
I haven't changed. I just haven't committed until a certain time.
Okay, so his commitment, and fans on KMOX are not going to like to hear this, but he moved to Chicago for a stretch of time.
Oh, boy.
He moved there when they won the World Series.
October 2016 is a great time.
Mr.
And so
Fairweather.
he
Okay.
I was already...
Hey, I'm not saying nothing.
No,
when
Mr. Fairweather here.
a child of the 90s. Child of the 90s.
You probably can say "Go Cubs, go" too, can't you?
I could. I could.
Right.
There's
There was
Chicago.
a while you couldn't say it for a while.
There is a Chicago flag tattooed on my leg.
Oh my goodness!
You grow up in the 90s. You had national games that were on, but every kid could watch the Braves on TBS, and you could watch the Cubs on WGN.
Yeah.
So, okay, follow the Cubs. Sammy says all that. Got here naturally as a teenager, moving to St. Louis. Everybody likes the Cardinals. And, what is a teenager going to do? Rebel against that. Well, I don't like the Cardinals. I'm not going to like the Cardinals. Move to Chicago or, go to college. A lot of my friends, huge Chicago sports fans, Cubs fans. Love Javi Baez. Like, oh, this guy's awesome. Love. All right. Cool. Move up there. Go to however many games in the playoffs in Wrigleyville for.
They call that
Game
one
7.
hit wonder, by the way.
Hey, you know what?
Just saying.
You know what? Who was in the playoffs this year?
Well, I always invite all my friends from Chicago in case you lose the trophy there at some point. You can come to St. Louis. We have a whole bunch full of them. Here.
But I will say
fair.
this.
That's fair.
So, when he was a little guy, when he went for Christmas, he wanted an Albert Pujols jersey. And my wife and I, who is this? So we had to Google everything to try to find who this Albert Pujols person was at the time.
Smart guy in the family here. I kind of like this guy.
What was it? 2 years later, we moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's been this flirting that he's had with it, but he never committed to a relationship.
I love it. Players. There's always players that I loved. Like, grow up a Commanders fan, but Deion Sanders was my favorite. Deion and Griffey, those were my two favorite athletes. So Deion playing for the Cowboys was always this like, I don't know about this. So you deal with it.
No, I get it.
You deal with it.
I get it. So Lakers, my first game as a child, my aunt lived near the 04. And I was there. I tell people I'm old enough to remember who was the center before Wilt got there, okay? C.J. Kupak.
Oh, my God.
From Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, I've always been a Laker fan, and we've had some hard times here recently, and I was about to give up my Laker card at one point because I think Rob Pelinka has done an awful job. Awful.
They're not watchable.
No, it's
not,
hard to watch.
Especially if you watch last night's game.
Oh, my goodness.
Not
Don't
watchable.
get me started.
Not watchable.
But, you know, being a St. Louis and being a Cardinal fan and watching the different people come through here, this is the first year that we don't have that so-called recognizable superstar player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can go back to the Musial era. Mm-hmm. There's always been that one person that everybody in baseball knew, he's a Cardinal.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that player yet. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have one on the team. We just, that person hasn't stepped up yet. Yeah. And that's going to be the next challenge to see who that next face of the Cardinals is going to be.
We were spoiled.
Speaking of which, today's Ozzy's birthday, so we ought to wish the Wizard his birthday. Speaking of people who have been the face of this organization.
Yeah. Still is to this day.
He's still the class guy.
And what is he, 71, 72
I'm
now?
going to let you tell his age.
I'm just telling you, when he told me how old he was, I went,
I think he's
wow,
71,
it really
72.
made me feel bad because I'm 10 years younger than him and I look nothing like that.
No, nobody's going to look like
We're going
him.
to step aside for another break here on KMOX. We'll be right back on the other side with more of our conversation as my son discloses the fact that he has a Chicago Cubs tattoo on his ankle.
We're going to get him some therapy. It's not too late. We can say
we got to work on that boy.
Don't worry about it.
Got a long talk to that boy.
Mm-hmm.
No one remembers the tie, the sweater, or the pair of socks they received last year for the holidays, but they will remember the year they learned how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year in January, Lacefield Music opens their exciting and innovative 8-week adult piano classes to the public for the incredible price of only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. This class is usually $100, but in January, the classes will be $29.99 for all 8 weeks. With Lacefield Music's adult piano classes, you will learn how to read music, play your favorite songs, and you will play with both your right and your left hand the very first week. This year, instead of buying your loved one more things, buy them an experience and fulfill the dream of learning to play the piano. Class sizes are limited and are filling fast, so call 636-778-2070 for more information or go to lacefieldmusic.com. That's lacefieldmusic.com to sign up.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Selling your home? Every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. My friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out the only agents I trust. Go to thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
Hi, this is Dan McLaughlin. Congratulations to KMOX, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back to KMOX 100 years on the airwaves here. This is Rene Knott filling in on this Friday for Dave Glover, who has the day off. It is December the 26th, one day after Christmas, and we've had a very lively conversation over the last couple of hours. I'm joined in the studio by Mike Claiborne, my son Easton, and my good friend Callie, as well as Daniel over here just smiling. He's our producer this afternoon, and thank you for being here, because we have no idea how to work that board.
It's a lot easier than you think. I bet I could teach you. It's
no,
possible.
that's if he wants to learn.
You probably don't want to
That's
learn.
if he wants to learn.
I don't want to learn. Trust me, I don't want to. And you don't think you want me over there either, because as a 61-year-old, when I need help with my phone or something, I call my son. I call my son.
Why do you think I moved away?
And they talk me through it. I got a MacBook about a month ago, and I had no idea how to set it up. Make a phone call. But now I figured out. Now I can go to YouTube and I can YouTube stuff and tell me how to do everything.
You down with it now?
I'm on YouTube every morning asking, "Is this good to use? Is this da-da? And it walks me through my world.
One of the more entertaining things that I can do to buy some time is log into my parents' YouTube account just to see what random videos that they're watching.
What in the hell is going on here?
It's a lot of like walking tours of this place, how to use this camera, old music searched in intermittently.
I will say this though, those walking tours. So before the Olympics in 2024, I wanted to get to know some ideas about Paris, and so I went to YouTube and I would put Paris in there, and all this guy would do is walk for an hour the streets of Paris with a camera, phone, I don't know what he used, and just walked around and you didn't say anything. So all you did was take it in as if you were actually walking along the street. And I learned a lot about where to go, where to turn, and all that just from watching those videos. So I will never discount
myself. It has
myself.
its pluses. No, it truly has its pluses.
For pure vacation purposes, I don't know that it has its purposes, but when you're like Rennie, who's covering the Olympics and needs to know, I have to be as efficient as possible, as fast as possible. I see that benefit. Otherwise, just go do it for yourself, folks.
But I learned, what is it, the Shakespeare Cafe or something that's across from Notre Dame, that it gets really crowded, and you also can't take pictures in there. So I knew that before I went over there. I knew that, the cathedral had stuff on the outside because it hadn't reopened as of yet, that you could still get some, a feel for what it's like to be inside, because there's so much outside to keep people, I guess, enthused about what was about to happen with the reopening, that I was able to learn. And I knew that as I crossed certain bridges where I was in town, and all of that was because of watching those videos.
Yeah, you had that visualization.
It helped out tremendously. The other thing that helped out, technology-wise, is the whole Google Maps. I put the address in there, and it would get me back to the hotel every time.
Google Maps sometimes can make you put you in a position where the one left turn the wrong way, and all of a sudden you take the long way back to where you initially thought you were going.
That happened to me the other day. I had to go up to Overland. I wanted to go shoot something, and so I put the address in the Google search bar, and it gave me directions. And I thought, okay, well, why didn't I just come from that way? I would have been here so much earlier.
I didn't know Collinsville was this close to.
There's also some advantages people like to talk about for Google and Apple to send you a certain way, drive you past certain places.
I see. So they want you to go by certain restaurants or certain whatevers.
Possibly.
And I got you.
Nothing is an accident.
Nothing is an accident. Words of wisdom from Easton Knott. Nothing is an accident. That'll be my next book, my only book, my first book.
And last
and that'll
book.
be about
and
me.
last book.
All right, so what's everybody watching these days, streaming-wise?
I'm watching streaming-wise?
Yeah. I mean, what are you watching on TV?
Actually, I ended up watching this movie yesterday morning with my daughter. K-pop Demon Hunters or whatever it was. I guess it's a big show. Everybody loves this thing. It's not a show. It's a movie.
Are you watching Landman?
No, I haven't started that.
Oh.
No, I'm not a serious. I watch FBI. We watched Reacher when Reacher was still going.
I love Reacher.
I'm not a big. I like to watch a movie where it's like fight them and all that type of stuff.
You got to watch Landman.
Okay.
That's a plus.
You guys watching anything?
The biggest thing that I'm waiting on coming back right now is The Pit.
Okay.
Huge
that
fan
did
of The
well
Pit.
last year.
Huge fan of The Pit. Very excited for that to be back.
We did Stranger Things last night, following along on Netflix. These big, long episodes. The drops real far apart. don't know where the show's going to go. I like the former seasons, but it's more of that. It's almost like that Barbenheimer thing that was happening a few years ago, where everyone's talking about Stranger Things. It could be good or bad this season, but at least I'm a part of the conversation.
Okay. All right.
That works.
Well, I just know this. I watched that movie, and that's however amount of time in my life I'm never going to get back. I wasn't that enthused with
I've
it,
been part
but
of
my
those.
daughter says that's like the big
It is
thing
a
everybody's
children's
watching.
movie, so that
Okay, well, there you go. That explains
That's
it all.
fine.
I'm still not a child. I may act like one, but I'm not one. We're going to step aside once again right now to take a break. We'll be back in the next hour with the one and only Anthony Slaughter. Who's going to be joining us. Stay with us here on the Dave Glover Show.
When it's the holidays, you want everything perfect. Finish wrapping gifts.
Perfect.
Balance the last tinsel on the bow.
Perfect.
Realize the oven's the only thing heating because the furnace is dead.
Oh, perfect.
Things will be when you call Jerry Kelly. 8 to 8, 8 days a week. We'll be there the next day or sooner. Plumbing, electrical, heating, whatever Grinch has got you, it says it in the song.
JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the college is paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments. Through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh, yeah, pediatric eye care, too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
This is Amy Mark Scores, chair of this year's Red Kettle campaign. Christmas reminds us of the challenges faced by our neighbors in need, basic needs we sometimes take for granted. When you give with joy to the Salvation Army, you transform lives. You put food on the table and provide warm beds. You give veterans and seniors purpose. You help a child experience the joy of Christmas. And 90 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to critical social services. Bring joy to the world today. Visit salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores.
Some folks treat retirement planning like cleaning out the garage. They'll get to it someday. Well, someday comes fast. I'm Gary Goldberg, and for 37 years, I've been helping people get their financial house in order so retirement doesn't feel like a garage sale. At Financial and Tax Strategies, I'll help you retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Give me a call, 800-966-1690, or visit us at checkwithgary.com. Let's make someday today.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial, Inc., an FFC registered investment advisor.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX. Celebrating 100 years and wishing you the best of the holiday season. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 3 o'clock, we've got 64 degrees, sunny skies downtown at the Arch. I'm Sean Malone. Our top story this hour. In Paris, an attack on commuters on the city's subway system. Brad Gibson is in France with the latest.
3 women were wounded on the Paris metro with a knife, and the attacker has been arrested. Their conditions are not immediately known, and it's not clear if the women knew the attacker or if the incident was terrorist-related. The metro is widely used by millions daily and thought by most people to be safe.
Well, the city mayor and aldermen fight over who gets to replace ousted Sheriff Alfred Montgomery. KMOX political analysts John Hancock and Michael Kelly both question why the office exists at all. Hancock argues the position is largely administrative and shouldn't require an elected official.
There's no real purpose or point in this internal fight between Megan Green and the mayor.
Yeah, we share that thought. I mean, it just is silly, as is the whole structure of government in the city.
Kelly says St. Louis is wasting money maintaining a separate sheriff's department when the police could easily handle its duties. The St. Louis City Medical Examiner's Office says an autopsy determined an elderly man's death months after he was attacked at his doorstep was a homicide. City police say they are looking for the person who knocked 74-year-old Willie Chappell unconscious at his Mark Twain neighborhood home on the night of April 5th. Police say Chappell died in early October after suffering seizures and other complications for months. The autopsy results just came back. Now that Christmas is over, do you have to get rid of the tree right away? WBBM's Nancy Hardy talked with a plant expert about how to know if your tree is ready to move on.
A long-lasting tree is less about whether you have a fir, spruce, or pine, but rather what happened after you brought it home. So says specialist Sharon Yeisley with the Morton Arboretum's plant clinic.
How well did we manage our tree? Because sometimes the water level gets low in the bowl and maybe the tree didn't get enough water. I remember when I was a kid, our dog used to go and drink the water out of the dish.
If you are done with it, she suggests repurposing the tree for tender plants in your garden.
Maybe these struggled in our last winter, just putting a few branches over them may give them enough protection.
Yeisley discourages burning your tree in your fireplace because of the soot left behind could lead to a chimney fire.
If you're taking down decorations this weekend, St. Louis County has a plan for your leftover tree. Residents can drop off natural Christmas trees at designated lots in Queenie, Creve Coeur, Beatree, and Spanish Lake Parks, starting now through January 18th. Now, of course, you'll have to remove all tinsel and ornaments first. And if you've got strings of broken lights, don't throw them in the trash. You can recycle them at the entrance to Winter Wonderland in Tillis Park through January 26th. Mizzou pass rusher Damon Wilson claims Georgia's athletic department is trying to illegally punish him for entering the transfer portal. He filed a lawsuit Tuesday in Boone County. Wilson transferred to the Tigers last January after signing a 14-month deal with Georgia's Boosters Collective. He received $30,000 on a $500,000 deal before entering the portal. Georgia filed a lawsuit last month claiming Wilson owes $390,000 in damages for leaving. Taking a look at the stock market once again, Scott Bedell.
Points to 48,710. The Standard & Poor's 500 index down 2 points at 6,929, while NASDAQ fell 0.1% at 23,593. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index slid 0.2% at 1,610. Looking at some stocks of local interest, Centene gained 1.5% at $40.51. Build-A-Bear Workshops up 4.4% at $62.34. On the downside, Boeing slid 0.8% at $216.44, while Reinsurance Group of America fell 0.5% to close at $205.59. And finally, Stifel Financial up 6 cents to close at $128.64. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
KMOX Business Desk is sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com.
Intervals of clouds and sun and warm this afternoon. High 66 to 70. The record is 70 from 1942. Tonight partly cloudy, though 43. We'll have areas of low clouds and fog for a while late tonight into tomorrow morning. Then some sun later tomorrow, high 63. Sunday, cloudy, breezy, warm, periods of rain, even a gusty thunderstorm, the high 70. It'll turn windy and abruptly colder Sunday night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We've got 60 in St. Peter's, 61 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, sunny skies, 64 degrees. I'm Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Dave Glover Show. Rene Knott sitting in the chair for Dave, who's hopefully enjoying a beautiful day off. I mean, my goodness, the sun is shining.
You couldn't ask for anything better.
It's in the 70s. Yeah. Well, a beach.
Now,
a true beach with some waves, and sand, and just kind of kick it out there and feel the breeze and everything else. But not bad. For December 26th, we'll take it.
Golf course is getting some action today.
Yeah. I don't golf, though. Putt-putt course.
I'm
game.
Hand surgery.
Yeah.
Starting in January, I'm going to pick clubs back up.
Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods.
I feel like him. I'm falling apart like he is.
It's called age.
Exactly.
It is called age. Joining us now is a dear friend, a good friend, one of my confidants, somebody that I leaned on heavily during my mornings at the KSCK back in the day, because he's someone I could talk to, relate to, and just, be a guy with. And sometimes you need to do that, maybe not so much with the open microphones and things like that. Anthony Slaughter sliding in now on the Dave Glover Show. First of all, Anthony, Merry Christmas to you, and how you doing?
I feel like I need one of those. Bim, 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 we the best.
We could do that. But I don't have an air horn and all that type of stuff. But if that's what you would prefer, next time I'm doing this,
well,
and I
tell
have
you what,
on.
let's hang up and call him back, and we'll do it the right way. How about that?
I'm doing good, man.
You're doing good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
What's up with this weather, though?
With you guys.
Well, thank you. What's with the weather? It's 90 degrees.
It is unusual, yes. But, global warming, climate change, it's a real thing. And, when we get days like this, and, we've had them more than once, people should, start to pay attention. It's definitely something that's alarming when you see the warming trends happening over and over and over again. And then you get these bigger, badder storms over and over and over again. So it's great, but it's also a little alarming,
Yeah, no, trust me. I didn't know what to wear when I left the house today.
I was the same way.
I put a hoodie on anyway, and probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, me too.
Anthony, I have a question for you. Now, I enjoyed you doing weather for a number of years, but what is the deal with all you weather cats, man, when there's bad weather on the way? You take your jacket off, you roll up your sleeves like you're about to take on a cold front. I mean, what is that something you go to meteorology school? They teach you how to do that, because everyone does it.
Actually, the first thing you have to do is unbutton each button on each sleeve.
Yeah, and roll up the sleeves
like you have cufflinks.
Yeah.
And you have to do about 3 rolls to get it perfect. And you'll be right at elbow length, which is enough for authority, but not too much to show off the gun.
I got you.
It's like I'm gonna put a hailstorm in a headlock here. I mean, I just didn't understand that, and I always ask my weather friends, why do you do this? As if you really
in all
taking
reality,
it on. We're fighting for you. No, you're not. Just tell me it's about the rain.
You're on TV for 2, 3 hours, 4 hours at a time, just talking nonstop, and you're critically thinking, too. You're not just regurgitating information. You're reading radar. You're translating the radar and trying to interpret what's happening minute by minute, even second by second. And so it's a little stressful because, people are watching you and it's live. And so you start to overheat. Some people like the studio at 72. Some people like the studio at 62. Mm-hmm. So who's ever in there at the time, you're going to get, that temperature. And a lot of times, it's not just the pressure that we get from the viewer. You have a boss that's sitting there glued to the TV watching your every move. And not only one boss, several bosses, might I add, that are, making sure you're checking every box, crossing every T, dotting every I, because that's when the most eyeballs are on you. And, as much as we like to talk, we don't have the choice. When they say go on air, we're on air. And we don't get off sometimes until they say you're done.
Yeah.
I've done whole night marathons where they're bringing in pizza and you're staying overnight. Yeah. You don't get to go home and go to sleep. So,
but you know who does?
Kind of the beast of it, And so, I'm going to roll a sleeve up. I might take my tie off. I might take my pants off. Crying out loud.
Okay. Don't do that.
All right.
But as anchor types,
let me give me a heads up on that so I can have a remote in my hand.
Anthony, we had so much fun working together, not just on camera, but being buddies off camera and hanging out at restaurants and stuff and having burgers and having a few drinks and just kind of laughing it up and things like that. How much more do you get to enjoy life that you're off TV? Because a lot of times life got in the way of being on TV, but now not being on TV, are you finding yourself enjoying life more?
I'm trying. I have kids and, they can be a little annoying sometimes because they're teenagers almost and they like to let me know.
Okay.
And they're full of attitude. But I do have more energy just because I was always kind of like in a zombie state, waking up in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And so by 5 or 6 in the evening, you're just dead tired. So that's great before it to be 9 or 10. And I'm I'm wide awake. I'm still trying to find a rhythm, a pattern of things to do. A lot of my days are just spent with the kids, and that's fine and all, but they're home for 2 weeks now. So I'm I got to get away. I'm literally sitting in a parking lot at a park right now because I knew I couldn't do this at home because, they're fighting, they're screaming, they're, playing the games, the dog's running around, pooping and peeing on the floor, and it's chaos.
Wow.
But, it does allow me to be a parent more, more present. I'm there for, some of the mishaps. I can guide them and direct them a little bit better. I'm not just so tired, you figured it out. So that's nice, but still, finding that social mix and balance of everything is still, I'm still trying to find that because I'm also still trying to go through this sobriety venture, which is not, that great. I talked about it on Pond Offs Anonymous a couple of weeks ago, but it's not just something you do and it's not a straight line. It's a constant daily battle. And so my, battle each day is to make sure I keep that in check first and foremost, so that I can be a good dad and be present and be there for all the things that they want to do. As far as being social, I'm sure it's going to come eventually, but I just launched the business last month and I've got another one I'm trying to get off the ground with the food. And so that takes up a lot of my time. But again, if I had been just, drunk every single day, just wilding out every day, I would have probably never got that done. So being in a clear headspace is definitely nice.
Yeah.
But also trying to find things to do at the same time, it's a little bit challenging because, it's a part of the norm for everybody just to drink. That's just a thing to do. And so when you go out, that's kind of hey, I'll have a drink. And so learning how to put that in check and keep it in check is something that I'm married to right now.
Right.
So
what was
I don't want to jeopardize that by I got to go out so much and be social. I think a little at a time,
I got you.
What was that first day like for you when you made the decision you wanted to change your life?
Well, I was in a lot of pain. And so that was the first thing. I was I don't want this pain anymore. And I was in the hospital, and so I had to stop cold turkey. And the pain did not go away. I had gastritis. It was this pain in my side, and I had it dull. I remember talking to Paul Cook there at the station, and because Paul's had some cancer things that he's dealt with, and for a month I was I've got this pain. It's in my side, and I could feel it. And I put on my jacket, and I'm I could squeeze in my jacket, but I had to, it was almost it was swelling. And it's inflammation is what I had, gastritis, inflammation of the intestines. But I just didn't want to be in pain anymore. And so I just wanted that pain to go away. And I remember getting on the treadmill maybe 3 or 4 days after I got out of the hospital, and the pain came back. And I was I'm not even drinking. So, but I still hadn't healed completely, and so I couldn't overdo it.
Yeah.
And so I just needed to take care of myself first. And it took about 2 to 3 months for that pain to completely subside and go away. And that's what I think about. I just don't want to have that quality of life anymore, And it's not an easy challenge because every now and again it's well, I guess I'll have one or I'll have a glass of wine. And, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
I think
one leads to two, which leads to three.
Yeah.
No,
and then
no
eventually
problem.
you want to do it
But
every day
you
again.
got those abs, though. Now, I mean, I'm seeing these
I had them before
these
Thanksgiving and
posts with
Christmas.
these abs. I'm going, what is all this?
Not anymore.
You don't have them anymore?
My dad was
easy come, easy
finding
go.
me yesterday at Christmas. He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Banana pudding happened." Okay.
Banana pudding happened. By the way, Callie's here.
Hey, Anthony.
Oh, wow, on the microphone. Check 1 2 1 2.
Wrap.
Callie.
30 seconds left of your weather report, Anthony.
I'm having PTSD.
Oh,
Both
my
of us.
goodness. You said you got a second business. So what are the two businesses you're running now?
So the first one is my apparel, which is Sky Weather. People have been seeing me promoted online. It's an actual official LLC. So I took the time to get that up and running off the ground, filed all the paperwork, because eventually it'd be nice to have something, that people can go into, like a store.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first one. It's just online right now. It's through my Shopify website. It's skyweather.myshopify.com. So it's not an easy website to remember, but it's all in my socials.
Okay.
And then the other one is the Portuguese food that I'm looking to bring to St. Louis. I went to Boston for like a month this summer after, I finished with Channel 5. And, there's so many times when I want to spend a lot of time with my family. I just couldn't because, you got to take vacation days and you only get like a week or two at a time. So I was like, I'm going to take a whole month. And my Nana, she's from Cape Verde, the Cape Verde Islands off the west coast of Africa. She's Portuguese. Her father was Portuguese. And we eat a lot of Portuguese food when we're up there. One of the things we eat is jag. It's like red beans and rice. And literally every single time we get off the plane, the first place we go is Nana's house, and she always has jag every single time. And when I got back home to St. Louis, I was having a conversation with one of my friends because I wanted to do some kind of food. I wanted to get into the food business, whether it's catering, ghost kitchen, food truck. I'm still not sure because I've had some detours along the way. But my friend said, you do the Portuguese food. We don't have a strong Portuguese cuisine here that people know, other than like fogo de chao, which isn't really Portuguese. It's more Brazilian. And so I just started thinking like, well, let's get real good at making these Portuguese dishes and see if that, will catch on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my thing these last few months is just like perfecting every Portuguese dish that I know how to make and make it the best that it can be. And I just was at some pop-ups this December for Avalanche over in Midtown next to the town on Locust.
On that, yeah.
Great turnout. Had some people come from, watching TV and stuff and following me now. And then just, of course, it's an open space, an event space, so people know the space. Avalanche has been around for about 4 years now. And so it was a great turnout. And I think I might be there again tomorrow. It's kind of just been on a case-by-case basis. The owners are very sweet. And they're like, just come on by if you want to. But I'm making donuts, and the bread takes all day to make. Like, you got to wake up and just start making the bread. You got to let it rise. You got to cut it. You got to let it rise again. So it's quite a process. But the one thing I told myself with this new venture, whatever I'm doing, I just want it to be fun. And if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
And so this has been fun for me, and I'm in the kitchen trying new things and trying new designs. And, if something doesn't work, you just try again. And that's been the one thing that I've been just loving the most is like, you don't have to be perfect every day. But on the news, we had to be perfect every day. You couldn't mess up. If you messed up, you had to go back and correct it. If your tie was crooked, someone's going to tell you to straighten it. And so to have the freedom to just mess up and do trial and error every day, like, oh, the donuts weren't great today. Well, we'll try again tomorrow. There's no wrong. It's all just keep trying something else until,
it's all learning.
Get it perfect, eventually.
Anthony,
but it's fun.
Who do you have as your taste testers right now as you're experimenting? Is it two 12-year-old boys?
Yes. My kids are the taste testers, and if I can't get it past them, then it's no good anywhere else. So if they say it's good, it's good to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to take a break. Let me catch you another size. I guess we still got a little bit more time before we hit the bottom of the hour, and we have another weather guy on.
Oh,
the great Dave Murray.
Dave Murray.
Well, look at that.
He's normally a part of the show. And so,
is it a weather alert?
Yeah,
Are we in a weather alert?
Oh, hey, it's 70 degrees outside. We got to figure this out. But anyway, hang where you are. Don't leave the park just yet, and don't hang up the phone. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Anthony Slaughter, everybody, here on the Dave Glover Show.
KMOX, celebrating 100 years. Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
Known to listeners as the Big Bumper, Jim White turned KMOX's overnight hours into one of the most distinctive shows in American radio. Starting in 1969, his sharp wit, curiosity, and conversational style made late-night listeners feel like they were part of an exclusive club, where the phones never stopped ringing and the stories flowed freely.
I'm Jim White. I am that which goes bump in the night.
I'm kind of scared to say what I have to say.
No, I just hung up on the last guy because, well, never mind why I hung up on it. Monday through Friday, the night side, on KMOX, St. Louis.
Jim's warmth and personality created a loyal community that spanned decades, proving that even in the quietest hours, KMOX was alive, connected, and always listening. Jim White, a KMOX pioneer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
There are the holidays in your head. Oh, here you go, my handsome husband.
Thank you, my gorgeous wife.
Then there's reality. Mark, Aubrey's frozen from the waist down. I think the heat is out.
It's part of the experience, honey. Besides, nobody's going to come out on the holidays.
You serious, Mark?
Got a full-blown 5-alarm emergency. Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and installation pros are ready 24/7, even on holidays. If your heat goes out, Air Comfort Service is prepared to get you warmed up back in the holiday spirit. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Looking for a beautiful, all-inclusive place for your loved one? Happy holidays from Pine Valley Assisted Living. Secure a room between now and January 31st and take advantage of our move-in special. Enjoy affordable rates with absolutely no hidden fees. Experience the beautiful life at Pine Valley. Visit rspseniorliving.com today.
Hello, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. Congratulations, KMOX, on your 100th anniversary. We're so excited that you've continued to be an important fabric and part of the St. Louis area.
Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. Rene Knott in the chair on this Friday afternoon, December the 26th, one day after Christmas, as you look ahead towards 2026. In the house, Matt Claiborne is here, Callie's here, and Easton's here. Easton's my son, Callie's my friend, and of course Daniel is running the show because he's controlling the board. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. But most of all, I want to say thank you to Anthony Slaughter for the energy he brought and the food that he didn't give us. So I guess, Anthony, at some point, you'll be cooking for the 5 of us over here at KMOX, yes?
I mean, sure, if you ask me to. I'm like Patty LaBelle.
We're asking. Wait, do we have to pay? Yeah. Do we pay for it, or do you just cater?
No, wait a minute, Rennie. Let me explain something about radio. If it's free, it's me and radio.
I got you.
We don't buy anything.
I got you.
We like crime. We don't pay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Look, I tell people these days I don't do no free work. So,
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So, If you want it, you got to pay for it.
I'm down with you. Now, you were talking earlier about, the boys being teenagers and, how rough that could be, especially have two at the same time going into that stage of life. Now, I've got my 35-year-old son over here with me, Easton, who you've met before. And I'm going to tell you right now, they grow out of some of the stuff, but not all of it. So get ready for the long haul on that.
No, okay.
Yeah, he's met you. I think he knows you haven't grown out of it either. So.
There you go. See what I just tell you? It never ends. It never ends. They're always right there to get you right back each and every time. We're talking about we did the podcast together. By the way, I think that's the most watched podcast we've done so far.
It is.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
It's doing very well. People still make comments. I had text messages from some of my friends in D.C. who really enjoyed it. We talked a lot about life after television, but did it take you a while at all to accept that you were no longer on TV, that life had ended and a new life was about to begin? Or did you have that mourning period where from time to time you sit back and go, how did this happen to me?
Well, I don't ever say never anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sure, I might be done with Channel 5, but there's other news stations, there's other national stations to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I haven't put that completely out of my mind either.
Okay.
The only downfall that I find in this business right now, and you probably see it as well, is there are so many cutbacks or so much transformation happening like minute by minute. It just seems like it's instant. Like you turn around and there's another change on like CBS Nightly News or on Good Morning America. It's a constant. They're cutting back on CBS. They're doing like so many different things to where I'm a little reluctant to even want to get back in the business right now, because you may get back in and it may be one thing, but 6 months down the line, a year later, it could be a completely different story, and you're doing something different than you signed up for.
Right.
And also, the pay is terrible. You look at the pay for some of these jobs. Like, I'm not going to move to New York City just to make $90,000. Like, I'd be on poverty. Like, are you kidding me?
I know.
So that part to me just doesn't make sense. And, until that can change, I'm done with the news business. Like, I'm on a venture now where it's like, let's try to get these multiple streams of income. Let's try to, figure out how to get each business off the ground so that instead of having one job, like, a Channel 5 job, have 3 or 4 of those jobs. And then now we're talking. You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
Then
it's more of a hustle
take a
now.
Vacation and get away from the kids a little bit more.
You and the kids. Hey, when did you think things turned, and in my opinion, for the worse in our business? Because you mentioned the cutbacks and just everything.
Streaming.
Yeah, you feel like
digital.
Okay.
I feel like it started with social media, where it was like, we need you to have a presence, and then when they started seeing that they could stream like on YouTube and simulcast and things like that, I think it became like, oh, let's try this now. But I think it was a little too late, because once the news business wanted to start streaming and doing YouTube, you already had YouTube influencers who had millions of followers who already owned that platform. And so now you have news stations kind of like, they're doing like double dutch, like where they jump in and, try to jump the rope for a little bit until it collapses. And I think that's what you're finding. Like, these companies are doing, double dutch, where they're on TV and digital. They're trying to figure out how to do both. But you really can't. I mean, I've been finding a lot of jobs where they're just hiring only digital meteorologists to just handle the digital part of it. Because, doing 2 jobs is difficult. And I think the companies are starting to see, like, especially in smaller markets where they're almost combining, they're creating hubs too, that they just can't keep up. And it's not just I don't want to work type thing. It's like, this is impossible. And I don't think companies realize, when you say something's impossible, they don't like to hear that.
No.
They're like, just get it done.
Get it done.
But when you're doing the work and you try to explain to them the process of how it's getting done, there's definitely got to be a better way to streamline streaming, because the way they're doing it now, you're doing 2 jobs, and you should be getting paid twice as much, right?
Well, in theory.
Their math is a little different than what you suggest.
Yeah, no, and the business has changed. I was just telling you the other day that they're looking for regional, anchors and weather people now who will handle several markets instead of just the one market that they're in. So the climate is certainly changing, and it's changing one where the corporation is taking advantage of the small amount of employees to do a greater number of jobs. and to command a bigger audience in the sense that they're going to improve their reach. Anthony, I hate to do this to you, but I got to step aside because I got to take a break. That's what we do.
Okay.
And excuse me, Callie would say rap, but she doesn't know when the breaks are either. So I want to
I
say
hear the music.
thank you so much.
And
Merry
good luck,
Christmas
man.
to you, and I look
Good
forward
luck to
to
you,
Merry Christmas, Anthony.
to us hanging together,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
I'll hang anytime you like.
All right.
Good
Thank
to
you,
see you
Anthony.
guys.
We'll be right back with the Dave Glover Show.
For 100 years, KMOX has been the voice of St. Louis, informing, entertaining, and connecting our community. Now, relive a century of service at KMOX100.com, a website that allows you to explore classic KMOX audio, rare photos and video, and the legendary voices that shaped St. Louis. Every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat lives on at KMOX100.com. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, the traffic isn't all that bad, obviously, on the day after Christmas. It's a Friday, so it's doing all right now. We do have one crash I'm looking at right now, folks. Westbound 44, just west of Big Bend. The right lane's blocked. Traffic's, well, it's a little slow as you approach Big Bend. Westbound 44, a little bit of a backup initially, so not too much. Like I said, not a ton of volume out here right now. 8 and Old Highway 8, there's a semi-truck off the roadway. 21 at Y, some congestion. We had a crash, I believe, at Y there earlier, so still a little busy down in DeSoto, and a crash reported on Robertsville Road just a moment ago. But like I said, very light traffic in general on the interstates. I'm not seeing any other issues and delays, even in the work zones. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Finish your year with your dream kitchen with help from Menards. Clearview Cabinetry offers a selection of finishes made with the finest materials and built to withstand life's sticky messes. They provide features like soft closed doors and drawers and cabinet accessories to match your unique style. Don't wait to finish your projects. Save big money on Clearview Cabinets and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey, and can you believe it's already the holiday season? While most people are thinking about lights and gift lists, a lot of homeowners are also wondering if now is the right time to sell or if they should wait until the new year. So I'm here with Gloria Liu from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, what should sellers be thinking about right now?
Great question. Even during the holidays, serious buyers are still out there, and with fewer homes on the market, sellers actually face less competition. When we get into the new year, listings start to spike and competition rises. But that's never a problem for my clients because I guarantee to sell your home at your price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. Whether you want to move now or after the holidays, we'll make it smooth and stress-free.
That's why Gloria Liu is the trusted choice for St. Louis home sellers. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. From all of us, happy holidays, and here's to your next move being your best one. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is Todd Krentz with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we have helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Selling your business is a major milestone. Before and after the sale, our role is to help cut through complexity and create a clear financial strategy focused on your legacy. We often coordinate with your attorney and CPA to ensure everything is aligned so your plan not only fits today, but continues working for you in the future. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. Thanks to supporters like you, children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach incredible milestones. Please donate today at treeofhope.org.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO250BM and get your first bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to new users only. Minimum odds -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investorday.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at bfa.com/cardfwc26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
It's an NFL double play Saturday. It all kicks off with the Texans and Chargers at 3. Then the Ravens and Packers at 7. It's an NFL double play Saturday on America's Sports Voice. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. Rene Knott sitting in the big chair. Daniel behind the board over here as the producer, dropping all of our Run DMC drops from time to time. I appreciate that. We need some other Run DMC. We need the Christmas and Hollis?
Christmas and Hollis.
Yeah, that's what we need to drop that one. So I'm give you time to find that by bringing in the one and only Dave Murray. Wow, my goodness.
Wow.
Back-to-back weather, guys.
That's right.
I love
You are
this.
so hip. You are
I'm,
so hip.
I'm trying to get down with it. But this is the first time I talked to
Mike
guy.
knows how hip you are.
I know.
This has been a true experience, Dave.
What do you mean true experience? Well, wait a minute.
Well, you're hip, man. I mean, you were just told you were hip.
I'm trying to be hip.
You put us in the Wayback Machine, so we can all get that.
Right.
Is that what it
Too
is?
hip to hop.
Groovy and everything else. First time I talked to a weather guy who's thousands of miles away from me, and you know what? You're over where I used to grow up, over there in the Southern California area, and that is such a
pouring
beautiful
rain here today.
I know. I wanted to bring that up because it's sweltering hot here in St. Louis.
Yeah,
pouring down rain on the West Coast. What is going on with our weather right now?
This is kind of normal. The warmth is not necessarily normal, but it's not record warmth. We never hit any records. This stuff happens in winter, especially we've had so many blasts from the Arctic as we started to get in the end of November and into at least the first 2 weeks of December. You can't continue that. The atmosphere cannot continue that. So once those releases are done, the Arctic has to recharge, which it is doing, and we're going to get a piece of that by the end of the weekend. But these, the West Coast, these storms are very common. I mean, this is the time you get your rain. If you don't get it now, you don't get it.
I was watching some video from, I grew up in L.A. and I went to Upland High School, so Mount Baldy area and all that. And there's a lot of flooding going on up around there because it's been so dry, and then all the rain comes and everything turns into mud. What is it like where you are?
You know what? It's not that it's been dry, because we've, leading up to this particular storm, we've had more rain so far this rainy season than we had all of last rainy season. The problem is the burn scars, Altadena, the Palisades. Those scars, when we say burn scar, it's just dirt. There's no vegetation has been planted. The housing situation is terrible. And so when we get rains like this, and up around LA and points north, there's been 10 to 15 inches of rain. Down south where I am in Laguna Beach, we've had about 3 inches of rain. And that's a world of difference. But, so you get these rivers, you get it coming down off the mountain, and you get these flash flooding. And so that's what's going on. But the burn scars are where the really real problems are right now.
Okay, you talked about the cold air coming our way eventually. But will that rain come our way too, mixed with the cold air, and we get snow and
there's something to really get your attention. We are going to see a 45 to 50 degree drop in temperature from noontime on Sunday until midnight on Sunday. That's incredible. And when you get that, you typically have, when we have a cold front coming in, obviously, an Arctic front, you get some problems. And right now it's looking like rain and thunderstorms around on Sunday. The front takes its time, but it's coming. And the cold air is lagging behind the front just a little bit. So we're 72 on Sunday, but temperatures will start to drop mid to late afternoon. And we will see rain and thunder. I'm a little concerned about some severe weather. I'm not sure it's a widespread thing, but Sunday we have to kind of pay attention to what's going on with the weather. And then Sunday night we continue to have showers. some wet snow mixes in. I don't anticipate that's a problem at all. It will be windy, and we're going down to 21 degrees Sunday night, Monday morning. Monday is sunny, windy, and cold. It's going to be a real shock to the system. Monday's high is 29 degrees. Going way out, it's going to be cold Tuesday, Wednesday. New Year's Eve right now looks cloudy and 21. New Year's Day looks partly sunny and 29. So winter's coming back. Come on, it's the end. That's the end of these. You guys did not think winter was over, did you?
No.
Of course not.
We've had opening days where we've had snow.
Yeah.
So
my
never
goodness,
rule
yes.
anything out. But it's been like today is the day I enjoy. I can go outside with the dogs. I can have a cigar on the deck or something. It's when the temperatures drop that I'm in my house with
I'm
a beanie on my
to cold
head.
weather, so this is not going to do me well at all.
This is not. So should we run to the store this weekend and
we got to get milk and bread? We have to get milk and bread, right?
Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's not that bad. Now, you said severe weather. What are we talking about? Thunderstorms, tornadoes?
Right, yeah, thunderstorms. I'm not convinced we see any tornadic activity, but there should be lightning. There should be heavy downpours of rain with those storms, some gusty winds. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill type thunderstorm for St. Louis.
But how unusual is that on December 28th to have that type of weather roll through this area?
I'm not going to say that it's out of the ordinary because it's not. Okay. We get thunderstorms every month of the year in the St. Louis area. And we've had thunderstorms in December. We've had some very mean thunderstorms in December. We've had flash flooding. We've had flooding in December, which is flooding of the rivers in December is an awful, awful thing to go through. And, so does it happen? Yes. Does it happen a lot? No, but it happens. I don't want to get into this, it's never happened before routine. I hate that.
Okay. We will not
We've
go
all
down
seen
that
this
path.
You're a news guy. You're
You're not
say
rolling
that
up
stuff.
your sleeves as we speak, are you?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
They are. But that's only because my younger dog and I went to the beach this morning in the pouring rain. She had a blast. She's dead right below my feet now, though.
How much are you enjoying that area of our country? Because, as I said earlier, I grew up in Southern Cal. I know Laguna Beach very well, and going up and down the beach on the boardwalks and all that was always a blast as a kid growing up. I used to go to Venice Beach and watch Muscle Beach guys work out. How much are you enjoying the Southern Cal lifestyle?
Lifestyle, I'm not sure. The climate, I love. Mm-hmm. The weather, I love. And there's enough variety for me to love it. I find the people here certainly less friendly than St. Louisans.
Oh.
And I miss that a lot. But that's why I keep a lot of friends in St. Louis, and they keep me grounded.
Okay. I can agree with that because I know I haven't been out in L.A. in years. But when you're out there, it's like you got to go here, you got to go there. People are not, I guess because there's so many people trying to get places, they're not very cordial. They're not very nice.
No.
It's like, I got to go right now to go get out of my way.
Yeah, you nailed it right there. And when I first moved out here after I retired, I still the Midwest thing. I mean, it's instilled in me. So I will hold a door open, male or female. I'll hold it open, and they look at you like,
"Where are you from?
What's wrong with you?
Are you going to trip me? You going to slap the door in my face?
Yeah. What are you going to do to me? You're being so nice to me."
Well, it's interesting to see how many people from our era, because you were on the air during the time that I was on the air here before you retired, and I'm seeing all those retirements take place now, and the face of television in St. Louis is changing so much where you could turn the TV on, turn on the newscast, and go, "Who is that?"
Right.
And where are they from? And what happened to X, Y, or Z?
Oh, yeah. I did television for 42 years, mainly in St. Louis, a stint in Boston, a stint at Good Morning America. But I consider myself blessed. In fact, my wife will say, "You were born at the right time."
Wow.
You were born to ride the wave of meteorologists doing weather. You were born at the height of television news. And to get to that point. Yeah. And I was. Yeah. And I mean, the writing on the wall has been there for a decade. I mean, you could certainly see it coming. And now it's brutal.
You don't need to tell me, Dave.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no. Anthony kind of summed it up there. It is two jobs now. It's television and it's the digital side.
Oh, yeah.
And that was all starting. And, when you approach management of getting a little taste of the digital side, money-wise, they look at you like, no, that's not happening.
No, even if they'll talk to you, they'll probably just look at you and give you the look to make you turn around and go the other way out the door. Well, Dave, it's been great talking with you, and I think, are you on Monday too? Because I'm back on Monday.
I'll be on Monday. Yeah,
all right, well, we can chat some more on Monday. You can tell me what the weather's like on that day too out there, because here I'll tell you about how cold it is after telling you.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Well, Dave, have a wonderful weekend. Merry Christmas to you, and much love to you and your family. And take the dog for another walk. Why not?
She's not ready for that, but we might. It's the only time you can really go to the beach with the dog.
I got
There's
you.
nobody there, and Ocean Patrol's not there.
All right. Well, thank you, Dave. We appreciate you. Have a good weekend.
All right, guys.
Dave Murray joining us here on the Dave Glover Show. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, just watch it if you're in North County on some of the secondaries. We have a pursuit. Illinois State Police started over on the Illinois side. Obviously, now it's just a moment ago it was eastbound on Parker from Lusher over there near the Walgreens. So I'm not sure what they're pursuing them for, but anyway, that's a incident in progress. Good news on westbound 44. They cleared the crash west of Big Bend. Traffic's back on the go there. Traffic's light on these highways. I don't see any delays on either side of the river right now on the interstates, even in the construction zones. You're looking good. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40. And they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions. And then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
Nominations for the 2026 Women of Achievement are now open. The St. Louis Area Award is the oldest ongoing program in the area whose sole mission is to honor and recognize the volunteer service and volunteer leadership of women. If you know an outstanding volunteer in the St. Louis metropolitan area, or if you are one, Women of Achievement wants to hear from you. Nominations, including self-nominations, may be submitted now through January 11th. Head to KMOX.com for more information.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Hi, I'm Wendy Weiss, KMOX alum, and to everyone who's been a part of the KMOX legacy, congratulations on 100 years.
Oh, you found it. You found it. There it is. There it is. Now, this is some real Christmas music right here. Talk about Die Hard being a real Christmas movie. Well, this is some real Christmas music, I tell you that. Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. This is Rene Knott sitting here alongside Mike Claiborne and my friend Callie and my son Easton's here. And, of course, Daniel is producing the show, and he found the music. So thank you for digging deep into the library to pull that up.
So he gets a star. He gets a gold star.
He gets a gold star. You know, I don't pass those out just to anybody. They have to be earned. And he dug into the library and he found the cut. So I got to give him a real one when we get to that point in the show. We've talked about a lot of things so far, and I think we've touched on just about anything that could be touched on a 26th day of December. But one of the things I wanted to make sure I get across before we end the show, and that'll be at 5 o'clock, and you know how things can get away from you, is that I want to publicly say this. I am so proud of my son, Easton, because of everything that he has done over the years.
He just turned around and said, you talk about somebody else he didn't know
it's
about.
Just that for what he's been able to put himself through and get to the other side each and every time, has always been so impressed with what that is. And I would like to think that it's a reflection of something that he saw in me, which for my career was a reflection of what I saw in my dad. Because as you say earlier, you never know who's watching. And when someone's watching you and they pick up on all the little traits that you have, and then they adapt them to their lifestyle, it's a compliment. And so I'm hoping as I watch my son that what carries him through life is something that carried me through life and something hopefully he saw in me. But I just want everybody to know that I'm extremely proud of Easton. And it meant the world to me to have him to come in for this show. Our opportunities to be a part of our child's life are few and far between because of our work schedules and things like that. But I've got three stories that I enjoy. One, the last basketball game at Cole Fieldhouse. Maryland's playing Duke, and I bring Easton along, and they had this thing where they're, da-da-da-da, you suck, right? I turn around, and he's standing on the chair next to me, chanting with everybody else. And he was 11 years old at the
11
time. 11 years old. And I'm going,
So this is
wait till his mother finds out.
Exactly.
Wait till his mother finds out. The other time that was one of the most special times ever, I told him one night, I said, I want you to think of 3 questions to ask Kobe Bryant. Because you're going to go to shoot around with me the next day. Lakers are playing the Wizards. So I bring him to shoot around. We wait around the side of the bus for the Lakers to come out. And first Shaq comes out. And Shaq is larger than I could think a person could possibly be. And Shaq reaches down and takes his camera. And we take a picture. And my thumb gets over the lens. So the picture doesn't really come out.
So much for that.
Thanks, Dad.
But Kobe stops. And I said, ask him, 3 questions. Kobe was very polite, stopped for this little kid, who was 8 years old at the time.
Probably, yeah.
And, 1/3 his size and holds the mic up there. And I thought, this is one of the special times that a dad gets to interact with their son. And then the third one was when he played football at WashU. Because I'm watching greatness happen before my eyes, and I'm thinking, wow, you're a part of that. And I think the love that I had for the game and the way you went about playing the game, I said, that's me. I'm not going to force him to do that. But he found it on his own, the ability to focus and work and achieve. Ended up being the player of the year for the conference. And I'm sitting there, I remember texting Keith Robinson, who's now a VP with the
he's got his
the
hands full.
Suns. Oh, yeah, he does. And I go, yeah, Easton has scored his third touchdown. He goes, of the season? I go, no, of the game. And that's just, it's one of those moments where you're going, oh, my God. But those are the times I take away from my interactions away from the family. It was just kind of the two of us and get to do those
Now,
things.
were you the stage parent? Easton, was he the stage
No,
parent?
that would be Marla.
No,
Okay.
That would be Marla.
I could hear my mom out in center field. I
Yeah.
could hear my mom out on the football fields.
See, I never did
cutting
that.
through it.
The only thing I say to coaches is good luck and thank you.
Yeah.
You know, because they get enough grief.
Now, my mom was also one of my baseball coaches for like 5 years when we were younger. So everybody was terrified of her. Still is, I think.
Rene, did the way you watched football change as Easton started to get more and more advanced? Looking at your kid playing, obviously there's pride, but get nervous?
You know, what's weird is that as a sports anchor, you always look at sports differently. You look at it as an analyst. And when I watched him play, I looked at it as just joy of watching a kid play. We're at the top of the hour when it comes to our time here on the Dave Glover Show. We're going to toss the break real quick right now. We'll be back on the other side with more conversations.
I will dig you on Monday.
And Mike Claiborne's voice will not be heard in the 4 o'clock hour, but that's okay.
Well, we have the best of somewhere around here.
I'm just glad you
really
came
need
in.
me, you know.
If you guys, I can take a whole hour to talk about what Mike Claiborne has meant to me just in the
Save
last
it.
couple of months.
Save it.
Just in the last couple of months. You're enjoying the Dave Glover Show. Stay with us.
All right, gang. On to
This is Megan Lynch for Ophthalmology Associates. Do you worry about going to see someone about your eyesight because you're stressed about the tests that they might run, and more specifically, the equipment that they might use? Ophthalmology Associates has the latest technology to see inside your eyes and detect issues without discomfort, and they have a great staff that guides you through the entire process. Call 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com. You can see the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Greg Birdie, that's who I see, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. From issues like dry eye to conditions such as cataracts and glaucoma, the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates will guide you through your diagnosis and your treatment options. For more information, call Ophthalmology Associates 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000. Or go to youridoc.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. I've been having a lot of fun since it came online here in Missouri on December 1st. I've actually taken out more money than I put in. It's a good sign. And they've kicked things off for new customers in a really special way. It's an offer that's really hard to beat. Unfortunately, I couldn't take advantage of this because I've been a customer since the word go. But if you're thinking about it, now's the time. Because new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets whether or not you win or lose. So you just sign up for the account. You make a deposit, you bet $5, and as soon as you do that, you get the $300 in bonus bets credited to you. So whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, doesn't matter. You can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, it's super easy to use. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join in on the excitement. Remember, 21 and older and present in Missouri. To play gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager, only $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Well, they cleared that crash westbound 44 at Big Bend. Everything's back on the run through there. It's just a little slow. The sun's in your eyes. Westbound 64. Clayton Skinker headed through McCausland right now. They also wrapped up that crash or that pursuit on Parker east of Lusher over there near the Walgreens, North County. But I'm not seeing any delays through there right now, so that's good news. They may have it moved off to a parking lot already. I'm Roger Brand in the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Celebrating 100 years and wishing you the best of the holiday season. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 4 o'clock, we have 61 degrees, mostly sunny skies downtown at the Arch. I'm Sean Malone. Our top story this hour, powerful storms soaked Southern California this week, producing flash flooding, mudslides, and debris flows. CBS News Los Angeles' Tina Patel says she was at a flood channel earlier in the day on Friday, and she saw crews working to keep the drains clear of debris.
We were at one of the flood channels near Big Rock Drive. The water was flowing through there, but there was a number of rocks and debris that have kind of started to gather in the storm drains. So crews were taking their equipment and trying to take that out so just the water could flow, make it to the ocean, and that if we did get more rain and more flows coming through, that it wouldn't cause any flooding problems.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that he will meet on Sunday with U.S. President Donald Trump in Florida. Zelensky told journalists on Friday that the two leaders will discuss security guarantees for Ukraine during Sunday's talks, and that the 20-point plan under discussion is, quote-unquote, about 90% ready. The announced meeting is the latest development in an extensive U.S.-led diplomatic push to end the nearly 4-year Russian-Ukrainian war. CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman shares more from West Palm Beach.
Zelensky himself confirmed this in statements in the past day, and we know from that interview with Politico as well, the president confirming not only this meeting with Zelensky on Sunday, but the meeting that we had anticipated to take place on Monday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So the president working both Sunday, meeting with Zelensky, and Monday meeting with Netanyahu. Of course, we wait and see in terms of what happens with this meeting between Zelensky and the president.
Bi-state officials are pleading with drivers to help end 2025 on a safe note.
MoDOT reports that traffic fatalities are trending downward for the third year in a row, but they are worried about the holiday spike. Last year, 27 people died on Missouri roads between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day, a significant jump. Meanwhile, IDOT reports that 7 people were killed just on Christmas Eve and Day alone last year. Both agencies say the best way to avoid a tragedy is to put the phone down and designate a sober driver. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Who actually holds the keys to the city sheriff's office? KMOX Republican political strategist John Hancock says the city charter is unclear, creating a chaotic vacuum where multiple branches of government believe they have the authority to fill the vacancy.
As it sits now, you've got now the mayor and the board of aldermen are in a bit of a conflict about whether or not the mayor can appoint the interim sheriff, which he's already done.
The board is suing to gain input on an interim sheriff and is also moving forward with a special election in March. KMOX Democratic analyst Michael Kelly says he thinks Aldermanic President Megan Green is making the move to, quote-unquote, be a needle in Kara Spencer's side. SLU men's basketball is off to an 11-1 start to the season with conference play around the corner. Head coach Josh Schertz says he's beginning to see the city embrace the Billikens more.
You can see, last game we played a Sunday game against New Hampshire. Have 6,000 people in there. They're expecting 7 to 8 for New Year's Eve against it's a 3:00 tip against St. Joe's.
SLU is back on the hardwood Sunday at home against Principia in a game you can hear on KMOX. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. It is a game of musical chairs in Clayton involving a shoe giant and an arts institute.
The Opera Theater of St. Louis has finalized its purchase of the Caleres headquarters, formerly Brown Shoe Company, wrapping up a nearly year-long negotiation process. The Opera plans to redevelop the site on Maryland Avenue into a year-round performing arts center, a project that early studies suggest could boost the region's GDP by nearly $4 million annually. As for Caleres, the company is not going far. They'll lease their old building back from the Opera till mid-2026, at which point they'll move their corporate headquarters just 2 blocks east to Forsyth Boulevard. Both organizations say the deal ensures their deep roots will remain firmly planted in the St. Louis area for decades to come. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Still hard to tell. It is December, but that is going to dramatically change come late Sunday. Lots of clouds tonight, 46 for the low. Saturday, clouds early, giving way to partly sunny skies, 65. Saturday night, clouds and mild, 59. Sunday, periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some could be strong, windy, 72 on Sunday, but temperatures start to drop off mid to late afternoon. We're going down to 21 degrees Sunday night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got 59 in St. Peters, 59 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, 60 degrees. I'm Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. This is Rene Knott in the seat. On this Friday, December the 26th, a very warm Friday, December the 26th. I kind of like that because I grew up in Southern California and I'm used to having palm trees on Christmas Day and all that stuff. No snow, no snow. My son Easton in the house with us as well. Say hello, Easton.
Hello, hello.
There you go. Make sure people know you're here. Daniel's also here. He's rocking the mic from time to time on the other side, but right now he is producing and dropping all of that Run DMC for me when we come back from breaks. I appreciate that. Joining me now is a man who doesn't need to drop music because he is music. He is a legend in St. Louis, but I know him because of his delicious food. Bringing in Steve Ewing. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
How you doing, Rennie? Thanks for having me, man.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. How are the dogs right now? The hot dogs, are they nice and well done and ready for me to come by and pick some up?
They are so ready for you to come by.
You know what? I went over to your spot over on Del Mar, and I said, I'm not going to do a hot dog this time. I'm going to do a hamburger. Yeah. And that's the first time I had done a hamburger, and oh my goodness, your burgers are delicious.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, we put a lot into the burgers. They came out really good. Yeah, we really wanted to go. Well, we did burgers a long time ago, and I felt like I wasn't doing them the right way, and so we kind of regrouped and said let's put a lot into making these burgers really good. So yeah, we've gotten our game stepped up on the burgers.
Well, I haven't taken my son Easton. He's in studio with me. I've never taken him over to your place yet, but I did take my daughter over to your place years ago. She enjoyed it. She's not a hot dog eater.
She's much more difficult to impress.
Yeah. She's me. Was it edible? And I'm all in. I'm all in. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to food before we get into the music side of things is that this is a very difficult time in our region and probably just everywhere when it comes to small businesses, especially the restaurant business. How hard has it been for you to keep fighting the fight each and every day to keep your places open, to keep your food delicious, and to keep people coming back?
It's rough right now. Yeah, we've been through quite a few ups and downs, but right now it's rough. Like prices have gone up quite a bit on our on meats and things like that, and and people are spending a little bit less money, so it's kind of a weird mix of we need to sometimes raise prices because our wholesale prices are up.
Yeah.
But we also have to watch prices going up because people are cutting back on what they're spending their money on. So it's a juggle, it's a trick right now. So we're just making as many adjustments to the menu as possible, and starting to add new items just to spark some new interest and keep people excited about these hot dogs.
Yeah, one of the things that I learned over the last few weeks is that a lot of the local restaurants have been calling on the social media influencers to be more a part of their message of getting it out that, hey, look, small businesses are struggling, but at the same time, we are indeed open. How much have you leaned on social media to keep the word going?
So we pretty much live on social media. That's our bread and butter. And it's been that way since day one. So that is a huge catalyst for us. So we have two people in-house that pretty much just run media for us, social media for us. So we do a lot there. As you can see, I'm on Facebook and Instagram a lot. But yeah, social media is a huge thing for us, and We have used influencers in the past. We have a lot of folks that just come in and want to try the food, and it's great when they get the word out because they have huge followings. So it's definitely important. Social media is never going to go away, and it's more important than ever now.
Yeah. Are you still trying to get your footing following the pandemic?
I felt like we never really fully got back on top of things after the pandemic. Everything just changed. So what you got used to changing frequently. Pivot became the word after the pandemic.
Definitely.
Because that's the way you do things. It's like you are constantly changing to keep people's interest. And we're in a period of time where things are changing pretty rapidly, and it's up to you to keep up and try to get ahead of it and try to be creative. And so I think that's one thing we have going for us is we have a lot of folks in-house on our team that are just fun and want to do fun things, and we just keep it creative, keep it fun.
One of the things that you have meant to this area is consistency. You've been there with the hot dogs, you've added the hamburgers, but you've also been the man behind the microphone as well with your band. And that has been probably one of the things that people hear your music and think, oh, he also has a restaurant too I can go jump into. New things, though, are happening with the music. Tell me about the pop-up.
So we took over Wednesday nights at Broadway Oyster Bar. So we're doing every Wednesday night. And this is cool because we're going to be doing new music every week and adding new musicians every week. So we'll have guest musicians. Like, for instance, on the 7th, January 7th, we're doing a ska night, ska and reggae. So we're having, members from Murder City Players, and we have members from the Scatatonics and Boomtown United. So these are all classic ska bands that have been around St. Louis for a while.
Okay.
So that's kind of the theme, what we're going for on these Wednesday nights at Broadway Oyster Bar is it's just going to be fresh new music every week, which is great because in turn that forces me to actually learn new music on a weekly basis for so this is good. So this keeps us on our toes, and like I said, we keep making new music, so it's good stuff.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
Yep.
you went silent. I turned to my son, and he looked at me. We were both like, "Did we lose him?"
I'm still here.
My brain started going back to my introduction to ska, playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater back in the '90s, and being like, Real Big Fish and Goldfinger and all that. And it's like, okay, I can work with this.
Yep. So that was something that we were into, in the early '80s, which was like what they call the second wave of ska. Like it made a comeback. And we were into that, and then it came back again in the '90s, with Real Big Fish and No Doubt and Us and Fishbone and all that kind of stuff. So it's just something that's been dear to me, and there's a lot of kids here and adults that still are into it. So I just put together this ska night, and so we have just gotten a really good response from it, and we have some DJs coming out. This is going to be a really fun night. And Broadway Oyster Bar, as you know, is just a fun place to do shows at. It's just awesome in there.
Well, you talk about doing the new music, but you have the old music. How often do people throw out requests? They want to hear you do that instead of this new stuff, or it's great the new stuff, but I got to hear some of the old as well to keep it where that's Steve.
Yep. So I'm the kind of musician who will always play the old stuff. So I will never not play the old stuff for folks because that's what they want to hear. So, and I enjoy playing it. So yes, I will always play the old stuff for folks. They won't even have to ask for it.
That's good.
I'm gonna play that stuff, and so and it's fun. It's like people are like, man, it just took me back 10 years or 20 years.
Yeah.
It's just fun to hear people talk about it, and it kind of never dies, which is really cool.
What is the energy that the audience gives you that you then give back to them? Because I've seen you play, I've seen the social media pics, and you seem to be having the time of your life when you're on stage.
Always, it's what I'm here to do. But I'm one of those people who I know exactly why I'm here on this earth. I'm here to do that, and I'm going to put the energy out. But if I get energy back from the audience, it's unbelievable. The feeling is amazing. And you can be tired and you get that energy, and all of a sudden you are full of energy and you're engaging in everything. So that what I get from the crowd is huge. It's amazing. And so I believe that you got to give it first.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to you. But that what I get back from the crowd is indescribable.
That's amazing. And one of the things that you are is energy, because you put yourself into your food, you put yourself into your music, but you also put yourself in at the gym. I keep seeing these pics that you're showing off your legs and the cuts and the abs and everything else, and I'm like, Steve, put a shirt on. Put some long pants on. You're making me look bad. How did you get into the whole bodybuilding thing? Like, it seems like you're doing so many things. When do you even have time to bodybuild? Because that could be a full-time job.
So I did take some time, like during the pandemic, kind of worked out because I couldn't do much besides, I was working in the restaurant, but I couldn't do much else. And so, you know what, this would be a great chance to dig into something I've always wanted to do. I always thought it was, and I've seen your pictures. I know you did bodybuilding, and
way back.
It was something I was interested in, and I've always been fascinated with the physique thing. And so some friends of mine kind of convinced me to give it a shot, and I had a blast.
Wow.
I met so many people, and just that community is very empowering, like in the bodybuilding and the fitness community. So it was just nice to kind of jump in that flow, and then I got the bug. So I haven't done it in a couple of years because it does take a lot of time and a lot of effort, but it was a lot of fun. It was a blast.
Well, Steve, you've been a lot of fun and a blast. Thank you so much for joining us here on KMOX. I wanted to reach out to somebody who could talk on a multitude of platforms, and you certainly are a guy that could do that. I look forward to checking you out at Broadway Oyster Bar, but most of all, I look forward to checking out the restaurant down in the district in the Valley, because I live in Chesterfield, so it's easy. It's easy now. Enjoy your weekend, Steve, and thank you so much. All the best to you in 2026 as well, my friend.
Thanks, Bernie. Appreciate you, man.
Take care of yourself. You're listening to the Dave Glover Show here on KMOX. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, all in all, it's not bad out there. We do have a couple places where we are seeing some delays on the highways, and one of them is going to be westbound Highway 70. Looks like we have a crash about midway between Cave Springs and 370, so you're bumper to bumper briefly at Cave Springs. And we have an incident as well as a crash on westbound Highway 70 west of Wentzville Parkway. It's not quite midway out to David Holcomb Parkway. I'll call it west of Wentzville Parkway, but traffic is bumper to bumper pockets. It's getting worse in the last 10 minutes from Highway 61 out to that point. Seeing some slow traffic on North 270 now, north of Manchester. Those right lanes headed up through Clayton Road into the work zone at Ladue. Other than that, interstate-wise, we're okay. We just have some heavy traffic like Lindbergh around the Halls Ferries down to through Waterford and Manchester Road. Not quite as busy, but still a little heavy around 141 and New Baldwin as well. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Hey, Cardinal Cowboy here. Who would have thought a car crash would have led to charities, TV shows, and cheering with the best fans in the world? I'm thankful for every day. And so are my friends at Renner Garage Door. They've been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. With help from trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, honest family-style service you can count on. So giddy up and get your free repair or replacement quote today. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original, present 100 years of KMOX.
We are covering what's going on in Ferguson right now.
We are hearing a word that we haven't heard here for years. That word is riot.
On the scene, trying to get into this area, KMOX's Michael Calhoun.
They just broke the window of the AutoZone across the street. People are walking out with batteries in their hands.
There is a building, a beauty salon building, and the back of that building is on fire.
I'm Carol Daniel. Our continuing coverage of the unrest in Ferguson continues.
There are sparks rising from West Florissant. There goes another tear gas canister. Everybody is yelling and running.
There for every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Brought to you by Together Credit Union. Achieve more with competitive rates on savings and lending. Visit togethercu.org.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers in waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guaranteed sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
In St. Louis, the weather can change in an instant. One day, you're under a thunderstorm warning. The next,
oh boy, it's snowing.
Stay prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. When weather threatens, the KMOX Storm Center has expert forecasts and live reports here to keep you safe and informed. Don't get caught off guard. Know your weather. Sponsored by
Celiga Heating and Cooling. This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Hello, St. Louis. Proud son of St. Louis, John Hamm here, wishing KMOX a happy 100th birthday, a centennial of being the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back to the Dave Glover Show. Rene Knott sitting in the big chair. KMOX, do you realize it's been 100 years? 100 years, and not a one of us was here at that time. And there's probably a few people out there listening who were at that time, but probably weren't listening because they're probably 1, 2, or 3, or 0. Started life 100 years ago. But it's incredible to think that in today's world where people have the Spotifys and the Pandoras and they have the apps and all that, that radio continues to survive. It's crazy when you think about it that way, because newspapers are not. Magazines are not. Television news is struggling. But somehow radio has found a way to hang on. And you were saying that it's the passive audience. You're in your car, you're doing something else, you turn the radio on, and there you go.
Yeah. It's as much as I would love to still have my monthly ESPN the magazine or something like that, the ability to just throw something on. And there are times when I will go through a week, 2 week, 3 week, a month of listening to the radio every day because I just so happened to have it set in my car when I got out and I got back in and radio's on. I was like, oh, I'm going to keep listening.
Yeah.
You don't have to make that effort.
No. And, when I get in my car, I use Spotify, and it's on the Bluetooth. So as soon as I sit down in the car, turn the car on, it automatically hooks to the Spotify, so it just starts playing. But the one thing about the local news on the radio is that if you want to know why is traffic backed up, you could go to KMOX and Roger's going to tell you why the traffic is backed up. So, oh, there's an accident, or, oh, there's construction. Let me get off this road and go another way. If you want that constant update on the weather, whatever it is you want that constant update of, you turn on the radio and you get it. At the same time, you find those voices that you listen to, be it a soothing voice, be it a knowledgeable voice, be it a funny voice. And so you tune to those shows because you want to hear that person. You want to hear their take. You want to get an idea of what's happening in my city, but you want to hear it from that person. So I see how radio has been able to survive, but it is kind of weird when you sit back and think all these things are struggling, and yet radio continues to be on our airwaves. It continues to touch people.
And when you think about it, radio, you have to bring in so much more personality than any other medium because it's just your voice.
Yeah.
It's not TV where you can have that physical presence or somebody, oh man, the way he dresses, the way or this or that, gotta check up on this. It's not even, the written word. It's your personality carrying a show for however long or how you get a certain message across. And so I think there is the ability to create those deeper relationships.
I agree. And the thing about it is that as you do it, and, we've been sitting here now for 3.5 hours, you become more comfortable with doing it. And so there's more about who you are as a person that comes out, and it comes out in the things that you talk about. And I think you start to have a conversation and a relationship with the audience that you don't get on the other platforms. Now, I will agree with you. I think of everything, I miss magazines the most because I like the pictures. I miss Sports Illustrated only because of the pictures. I remember Michael Jordan's final shot, to win the championship. I think it was against the Utah Jazz. Mm-hmm. And the shot that they have is from behind him, and you can see all the reactions from the people behind the basket. And it was fascinating to see how everybody said, oh my, somebody's upset, where other people are like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing's ever happened. And that's what a magazine is able to capture. But now, because of social media, you just flip. But I miss holding it in my hands and reading it. I miss GQ coming to the house and seeing how to put together a combination because so-and-so had it, and I want to do that shirt, that tie, and that jacket. Newspapers, I don't miss as much. I did miss, because I grew up in L.A., like the Los Angeles Times being that big, thick newspaper. I did miss the Washington Post when we lived in D.C. because it was a big, thick newspaper. But I think when I came here, the Post-Dispatch was more of a competition with what I was doing as opposed to being a source for what I was doing. So I didn't respect it as much as maybe I should have. I respected the writers and the reporters that I knew, but I didn't picture it as I have to read this newspaper from front to back every time so that I'm informed. I took it as I'm already informed. I don't need that. But in hindsight, it wouldn't have been bad from time to time just to see what the other side was saying.
For me, it was, I think the Washington Post in particular, and having that newspaper experience as a kid where I'm growing up, huge sports fan, all that fun stuff. And as I'm eating my breakfast, getting ready to go to school, I can open up the paper and read Thomas Boswell and Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon, all these, incredibly esteemed names, and see how they write and how they talk about things and be engrossed by it while also, just following what happened the night before. And obviously so much of that's changed with social media and TV and everything else, just how you get your sports information or whatever that might be. But there was this piece of, okay, this is a part of my day where I can sit with the paper as the oldest 10-year-old you can imagine. And,
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Go through and eat my Lucky Charms, but also be seeing what Kornheiser has to say about LeVar Arrington.
Yeah. But the thing about that, you talk about radio and personalities, there's something to be said about the columnist who wrote certain articles, because those were the ones that gave their personalities and their perspectives. Whereas the reporters just kind of told you this is what happened or this is what's going to happen. They dove into it differently. And I remember before Pardon the Interruption got started, and I know Tony and I know Mike Wilbon, and they were talking about, we were in New York at a Giants game, that the show was coming up, and they said, people aren't going to like us because we're going to tell the truth. More on that story coming up in just a bit. Right now, we're going to step aside. You're listening to the Dave Glover Show. Rene Knott sitting in the seat right here on KMOX.
Weekdays at 5, it's Rush Hour Sports on KMOX. Hot stove blazing. College football bowl season heating up. College basketball teams making their final prep for conference play. NFL teams jockeying for playoff positions. And the latest in Cardinals baseball and Blues hockey. Fast updates, instant analysis, zero wasted seconds. St. Louis sports, all of it. Delivered right at Rush Hour. Rush Hour Sports, weekdays at 5 on KMOX.
At 4:30, we have 60 degrees, clear skies downtown at the Arch. Ukraine, Nigeria, and Israel are all discussed in a recent interview with the president. CBS News correspondent Jennifer Kuiper with more.
President Trump confirms to Politico that he will meet with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this weekend. On Zelensky's proposal for a peace deal with Russia, Trump says, quote, he doesn't have anything until I approve it, so we'll see what he's got, unquote. President Trump says of the Christmas Day strike on ISIS in northwest Nigeria that it was supposed to be Wednesday, but he pushed it back to Christmas Day for symbolic reasons to, he says, make it a Christmas present. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Today marks one of the busiest travel days of the season, both on the road and in the air. The day after Christmas is now heading into New Year's Eve travel. AAA says 122 million Americans are traveling this holiday season. 7 million of them are Floridians. Flyers at Miami International Airport are braving the crowds to make it through the long lines.
We wanted to at least get here 2.5 hours early. Thank goodness we have clear and TSA pre-check, so we should be good.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling weather desk, tonight partly cloudy with areas of fog late, lows of 43 degrees. Tomorrow, areas of low clouds and fog giving way to sun with highs of 63. On Sunday, cloudy, breezy, and warm with periods of rain and a thunderstorm. And any of these thunderstorms can produce hail and damaging winds. Highs near 70 degrees, but it'll be taking quite a turn after that. Windy and turning sharply colder Sunday night into Monday morning. On Monday, it'll be blustery and much colder with sunshine and some clouds. Highs only near 30 degrees, and it'll stay that way for a little while. Tuesday, mostly sunny and remaining cold. Highs of 35 degrees. Right now, we've got 58 in St. Peter's, 58 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch, 59 degrees. I'm Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, the highways are rolling along pretty nicely. Just a few areas where we have some delays. A little bit of a slowdown, not as bad as it was 10 minutes ago. North 270 about midway up from Manchester Road to Clayton Road. We had an earlier, I believe it was a sick case is what it was called out as, difficulty breathing. So they may be on the shoulder there. Still, there's some volume. The sun shouldn't be in your eyes now, but it probably was. Westbound 64, kind of slow from Hampton, headed out through McCausland. We had that crash, westbound 70 west of Cave Springs, a little back up there, and they cleared the crash. The biggest jam we had is now gone. Westbound 70 west of Winslow Parkway. Westbound 70 is just a little slow with the 64 merge on traffic approaching Highway Z, and that's about the worst of it there. And like I said, the rest of these interstates, Friday afternoon, usually pretty busy, but this is a Friday after Christmas, so it's not bad. Northbound 55, just a little slow, approaching 67 in the work zone down in Festus right now. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls. Whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
This is Justin Brown with Krinz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. As retirement approaches, one question matters most. How will you replace your paycheck? With decades of experience, we've helped retirees turn uncertainty into clarity through personalized income planning and steady guidance. Our proactive strategies are designed so you can enjoy the retirement you worked your lifetime for, with clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services. Member FINRA/SIPC. Krinz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
All right, everybody, listen up. If you haven't heard by now, and I'd be surprised if you hadn't, with Ranj and I talking about this on a regular basis, but the FanDuel Sportsbook app is live here in Missouri, and they have kicked things off with an offer that is really tough to beat. So right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, whether you win or lose that first bet. So you sign up for an account, you make your initial deposit, you make that bet of $5, and automatically you are credited with $300 in bonus bets. And look, I'm a big fan of FanDuel. I downloaded the Sportsbook app the moment it came online, and I couldn't play here in Missouri before, but now I can. And the app is safe, it's secure, it's super easy to use. All you got to do is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join the excitement, because with FanDuel, you play your game. 21 and older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
This is Carol Daniel. I'm so proud to be part of KMOX's 100 years of broadcasting excellence. Congratulations.
Welcome back, KMOX. 100 years in your ears. Like how that rhymes? Rene Knott sitting in for Dave Glover on this Friday afternoon. It has been a blast to be here. And I mean that honestly, because I've had the opportunity to interview some folks in the last couple of hours that were friends of mine who have some great insight about where we are as a people and where we are as just folks trying to make it in life. And Anthony Slaughter was great about his next chapter in life. You know, it's great to hear from Steve Ewing talk about where he wants to go and keeping the music alive, keeping the food alive, and then to have Ben Newman on. And I brought Ben on specifically for the fact that, you know, there's a lot of folks out there who want to achieve something in their lives, not necessarily greatness, but want to believe that the dream can happen for them. And sometimes it just takes a voice in your ear to convince you that it can happen. But you need that reminder very often that it can happen, because you can give up very quickly and just go, I have to resign myself in where I am. There's also reality to what your skills are, what your horizons will probably need to be. But that doesn't mean you can't focus on that horizon and move forward, because you can find something along the way that does indeed bring happiness to you. But it starts with you making that commitment, making that push, as he said, finding your burn and doing it. I mean, you saw it when you, and I keep going back to your football career. This is my son, Easton. Going back to your football careers, I think during that time at Wash U, you found your burn.
Yeah. It's funny now because my time as a ex-athlete is almost as much as my time as an athlete, being a little bit older. And, when I was high school, college, I'm at Wash U, so much of that motivation, that burn was not only from loyalty to my teammates and all that, but it's feeling like you were being doubted. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to doubt me? Okay, I'm going to prove to you that I'm not what you think I am. I'm going to prove to you that I'm that much better. And what is fascinating in a conversation I had with some of the guys that I coach and counsel recently was talking to them about what motivated them. Kind of, same idea. Mm-hmm. What was getting them up in the morning? What was pushing them every day? And so many of them, hey, the doubters, I'm 5'5", so, people are saying I can't be that good at football, but I'm going to make sure that I am. That's what gets me up. I go, hey, that's awesome. Keep pushing yourself with that. But it's important to remember that as much as that kind of negativity can push you, it's not as sustaining as positive reinforcement, positive motivation.
Well, the negativity can be very draining.
Yes.
It could be extremely draining, and you push yourself and you burn yourself out that way. It's not supportive.
Yeah.
When people speak to you positively, they bring support to you. You feel like I am moving in the right direction. I am indeed doing the right things. And, even Michael Jordan was an athlete who drew his greatness through the doubters. Cut from his team when he was in high school, that they eventually ended up being who he is. And so sometimes that negativity can push you in the right place, but at some point you got to learn to enjoy who you are, where you are, and enjoy the process and enjoy the fact that the wins may not be big ones, but I've got a little win there, a little win here, and stack them up. It keeps stacking them up. And for me personally, I need to focus on that almost on a daily basis, is that these little wins, these people who are saying that they support you, they love you, they miss you, and things like that. It makes me feel like the 21 years prior to now mattered, that the 21 years prior to now made a difference to somebody, that someone somewhere along the way listened, saw you, watched you, understood that if I am more like that, maybe I can be where that person is today. You want to be that example. And it is something heavy to weigh on your shoulders. The hard part for me now, and I touched on this earlier, is I'm not that guy on TV anymore. But I shouldn't look at it as, well, what am I now? Well, I was just a guy who worked on TV. I don't think TV defined who I was. And without that, I would not have amounted to anything. It just meant that was my job. I enjoy it. I still enjoy telling stories and things like that. But it was a medium to a means. And so now it's a matter of finding a new medium to the means, but don't lose focus on what the impact could be. And the impact is making a difference in our community in a positive way, being that person that someone can see and go, if he can do it, I can do it. If he's going to stand for this, maybe I need to stand for something in my life too. That's kind of where I am right now. And that might be because of my age and everything else. But when I look back at all that I've been able to do, I think that is the one thing that has kind of been the thread all the way through, was trying to be somebody that when someone saw you, they were more inspired than they were disappointed. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's this idea of keeping your individuality, keeping yourself while making those pursuits happen. And I think that, again, in this idea of somebody seeing me working in a high school where, when I think back when I was younger and who I saw and who I thought I needed to be in order to fit into certain circles or certain career paths or whatever it was, it's okay, I have to hide this band that I like. I have to hide, this shirt or whatever it might be. And so to go through my life, make an impact while still being myself, while always keeping true to that. The amount of times that I've had students come up and say, like, hey, I really appreciate that. I felt more confident in being able to move forward with, the band that we just started, or, what, I was able to quit football, which as a football coach is not always the thing I want to hear, but because, I saw the way that you kind of took on your path on your own. And that's one of those things that every time you kind of take a step back and like, am I doing the right thing? Or, am I doing it the right way? When you have those voices that are like, hey, because you did it the way you did, I'm able to now be a little bit more comfortable. It's like, all right, it's worth it.
Yeah, like you said, you never know who's watching. But somebody's always watching, that is for sure. You're listening to the Dave Glover Show here on KMOX. I am Rene Knott in the seat today for Dave, who's on vacation, and I think he'll be back sometime next week, I believe, because I'm here on Monday. But after that, I don't know who's going to be here, but I'll tune in and find out. We're going to step aside right now for a break. We'll be back for one more segment after this.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we cleared out 2 of our 3 backups. The one north 270 north of Manchester up through Clayton Road, that's back on track, and westbound 70 west of Wensfield Parkway is back on the go. But we still have this little jam up for this crash, westbound 70. It's about midway between Cave Springs and 370. The jam right as you approach Cave Springs, a lane block there. Once you get past that point, you're good to go. Still just a brief slowdown. Northbound 55 heading up through 67 in the construction zone down Festus Way. Other than that, the rest of the interstate's good to go. Manchester still looks kind of busy for the most part, like Weidman out through 141, and eastbound coming in east of Clarkson through New Baldwin and Reese Road looks a little heavy, but a lot of retail out that way, so no surprise on a Friday. Folks are getting out there since they're not working and maybe doing a little shopping. Westbound 64, just a brief slowdown at the city limits. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
No one remembers the tie, the sweater, or the pair of socks they received last year for the holidays, but they will remember the year they learned how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year in January, Lacefield Music opens their exciting and innovative 8-week adult piano classes to the public for the incredible price of only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. This class is usually $100, but in January, the classes will be $29.99 for all 8 weeks. With Lacefield Music's adult piano classes, you will learn how to read music, play your favorite songs, and you will play with both your right and your left hand the very first week. This year, instead of buying your loved one more things, buy them an experience and fulfill the dream of learning to play the piano. Class sizes are limited and are filling fast, so call 636-778-2070 for more information, or go to lacefieldmusic.com. That's lacefieldmusic.com to sign up.
Winter Wonderland, presented by St. Louis County Parks and Recreation at Tillis Park, is now open through January 3rd. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes. Whether you're carrying on a family tradition or starting a new one, you'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. Happy holidays from Kirkwood Fence, Tully Tire, Washington University Orthopedics, Restoration One, and Happy Roof. More info at KMOX.com.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Finish the year with your dream kitchen with help from Menards. Transform everyday spaces into gathering places with custom craft countertops from Menards. Countertops are the center of the home, and we offer stylish options with durability that will last for years to come. Check out our kitchen showrooms in-store or visit menards.com and get a free design estimate today. Plus, view our weekly flyer for many other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code Radio250BM and get your bet matched as a bonus bet up to $250 whether you win or lose. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Open to New Users only. Minimum odds -500. Awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 14 days after receipt. Bonus bet amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. The Brennans love celebrating the holidays at home. There has never been a better time to move up to McKelvey with our Home for the Holidays sale. This is your last chance to save big at the Preserve in Afton with savings of $25,000 plus $10,000 cash at closing and special financing on all of the 4 remaining homes, including our luxurious Turnberry display. The Preserve is truly special with lakes, trails, and an abundance of wood and common ground. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Get ready for Monday Night Football as the Rams face the Falcons.
Saipan Cancer Center game time, 6 p.m. Saipan Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
The Rams, the Falcons, on America's Sports Voice, 104.1 FM KMOX.
There goes right there. I had to talk to producer Daniel about this cut. He wanted to know what cut I wanted. I said, you got to go with this one. It kind of speaks to the season, and it really does. It's one of those that my son Easton over there, we were talking about how certain musics, certain songs take you back to a certain place in time, a certain place in your life. And that was certainly one of those for me. And the thing about that, it goes all the way back to when MTV played videos. And what drove you to certain music was the video itself. And that was one of the songs where the video brought me in, and then the song stayed in my head. So, you know what they said, video killed the radio star, whatever that was. Mm-hmm. I think the radio star killed video because now no one makes a video anymore.
Well, the TikTok star killed.
Is that what it was?
Videos still exist, but they're not. You got to go on YouTube.
You don't have a Thriller anymore, you know.
Well,
a big production like that.
I think it's so for me. I was, music videos are still very huge for me growing up, but it was I need to get home so I can watch TRL. I need to see the top 10. Okay. I need to see what's going on, and you're following along that way and keeping up with everything. And I feel like I'll still see music videos on YouTube now, which is cool. But there's no I'm gonna throw on the TV and see this show that's going to introduce me to a song
for the first time.
Time via video.
Well, I watch Yom TV Raps, which is still on, and I'll watch that, and I go, man, first of all, the video quality is horrible. And then I go, I like that music back then. And then there's others I go, oh, yeah, I missed this jam. But for me, I think because I grew up when it comes to my music taste in the 80s, MTV was such a big part of the 80s that you got hooked into the video. Now, producer Daniel is up too right now. And so what is your music genre that you go to?
I'm a big country guy, actually.
Really?
Country music.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was in high school, it was different. I listened to a lot of rap and hip hop because that's what we would listen to before games and whatnot to get fired up. But yeah, now it's just country. It's been country since college started.
Okay, so you were a hockey player, correct?
I was.
You probably still are a hockey player to some extent.
Yeah,
I take it.
I wish I was still playing like beer league or just some pickup kind of something here and there, but not currently.
Well, see, you can't do that. We play football. You can't do that when you play football. You just can't go find 21 other people to play to play a full contact football game. And you probably don't want to because you probably wouldn't come out there in one piece. What was the song that you guys played that got you pumped up?
We came out to, it's probably my favorite one. It wasn't exactly that big of a rap and hip hop song, but it was called Hell and Back by Kid Ink. That's the song that we would walk out to, and it was pretty good.
Okay. What was yours?
So there's two in particular. I would always listen to song called New Noise by Refused. And it's the song, if you're familiar with Friday Night Lights, the movie, it's a song that's playing as they are running out for the state championship game against Dallas Carter. And it kind of slow, and goes really loud. So it was me and my buddy Nooner, Brian Gilbertson, shout out. We were big on that one. But before every football game I ever played, the last song I listened to, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Got a tattoo of CM Punk on my calf. Triple H's walkout song was always what I listened to. Time to play the game. And I would lock in, and that was it.
Okay, so my song, and this goes back to college, and I played it every single day I walked from the dorms down to the practice facility, was King of Pain by the Police. Now, in my era, it was the Walkman, so I had the cassette tape. So every time I played it, I had to rewind it to play it again. I couldn't just hit a button and it starts all over. And I would play that every day. And then when I would go out on the football field, I would let the song play in my head as they're about to snap the balls. I played free safety at that time. And then when the ball was in the air, it's like, here we go, King of Pain. That guy's gonna get hit and not feel good when it's done. So that's how music became a part of my life. And then I was talking about my wife, Marla, Easton's mom. We met at a place called Fat City, and that's a dance club in Medford, Oregon, where it was 18 and up you would go. And really it was teenagers more than it was older folks. And we would dance all night. And I remember the first time that Thriller debuted, we were there. And they had it on the big screen, and this was Thriller. And so you would go, the videos would come up, and you would dance and everything else. And that's music to my ears to this day. I keep that going. So you're listening to, one more time, Run DMC, as we say goodbye on this Friday, December the 26th. I hope you enjoyed the last 4 hours. We'll be back on Monday. Easton's going to come with me on Monday, too, unless his flight leaves on Sunday. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, most of all, for listening to KMOX for 100 years now. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Electric air taxis are expected to take off in 2026. Joby Aviation is